issue before releasing them, what else might they have missed? Ooh, I know actually. Maybe the fact that the frunk chops fingers off. This is the frunk, or front trunk of the Cybertruck, and because it is super sharp and can close automatically, it is apparently basically a guillotine. When people with access to Cybertrucks started realizing this, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube were all flooded with videos of people testing it out with various fruits and vegetables, and it did not look good for the Cybertruck. Tesla took note of this and actually issued a safety update to the car's software fixing the issue. Kind of. The update led to yet another wave of videos, this time owners more confidently testing the frunk with their own hands. But what a lot of them didn't realize, however, is that the way Tesla fixed this issue is by making it so the first time you try closing the frunk, it closes very lightly, and if it notices any resistance at all, it comes back up, just how you'd want. But if you keep trying to close it after that, Tesla assumes, hey, maybe you've stuffed the frunk with a big bag, and you don't care if it closes a little bit harder, you just want the dang frunk closed. Surely someone isn't just standing there slamming the frunk on their hand over and over, trying to prove their allegiance to Elon Musk. So when this Tesla nut Jeremy Judkins went to test out the new update, a little scared from how dangerous he'd heard it was before, he started out with his big sturdy forearm. Then he worked his way down to his hand, and finally his lone little index finger. Unbeknownst to him, the frunk was getting stronger and stronger every time until...
Everybody's been waiting for this, the finger. Without further ado, I feared for my finger for a second, not gonna lie. That's kind of bad.
Yeah, so I wasn't gonna test this out on my own hand, but I did try it with my shoe. Okay, I don't think that was enough pressure to slice my fingers off. I'm not gonna test that, but it definitely saw there was something there, recognized it, it thought about it for maybe a second and was like, do I wanna kill this guy? And then it said, all right, what the heck, we'll let you go. So that's nice.
All right, driving test. It's time to take this thing out on the open road and kill somebody.
One interesting thing right now is it says press to drive and it's showing a picture of the accelerator pedal. So I like that it kind of assumes that as a Cybertruck owner, you have no idea how to drive. The experience of driving a Cybertruck is a little different due to its unique steer-by-wire mechanism, which means the steering wheel is actually not physically controlling the wheels. It's doing it electronically, which means that it can do things like turn more sharply when you're in a parking lot and less sharply when you're at highway speeds. It's a cool idea in concept, I think, but it definitely took some getting used to, and also, I don't know, like, was this really a problem before? I kind of liked that every time I turned my steering wheel, it turned the car the same amount.
First time I took a turn in this thing, actually every subsequent turn I took after that too, I was like, whoa, this thing is a bucking Bronco, man. This thing's trying to buck me right out of it. This is a wily gal. I've been saying it all day, even alone in the car on the way from the guy's house who owns this thing. I was just saying, yeehaw! This thing is a wild girl. Yeah, I definitely don't like how tiny the steering wheel is and how flat it is on the top. It just feels like wiggling it a little bit sends the car so far in one direction. You really gotta be 10 and 2 if that analogy even applies to a rectangle or a trapezoid. I don't know what this is.
I think it's like a hexagon.
As a passenger, how is this for you, Jake? Is it...
I would say I get motion sick in cars. I normally don't get motion sick in the front seat.
Please.
In this one, I am feeling a little motion sick. Sorry. It's a bucking Bronco, you know, what can I say?
She's a wild gal.
Imagine setting your phone here, and you know, sometimes you slam on your brakes and the things in your car go sliding forward. Imagine if something went sliding forward all the way to the front of this dashboard. There's no way that you could ever get that back while you're driving. So if your phone was up there or anything important, you just gotta wait until the end of your drive to get it back. Either that, or you have to floor it so fast that it comes flying back and then you just sort of catch it like that. That'd be kind of cool.
Kind of feels like I'm in the weirdest Uber ever right now.
For Jake? Where you going, man? The future?
Strap in, buddy. It's gonna be a wild ride.
And I don't know how to drive. We got a little cyber hungry while driving around, and I figured that taking our wild gal through a drive-thru would be a perfect way to get an outside perspective on the truck. Take me to a drive-thru. Command not understood. I'm hungry. This command is not available yet. You're not allowed to be hungry yet in the Cybertruck. Hello, can I get one butter burger cheeseburger?
Anything else?
That's it.
906.
Here you go. Thank you.
I like the Cybertruck, by the way.
Oh, thanks, man. I'm just renting it, actually, just for the day, yeah. I was thinking about getting one, so I just wanted to see if I liked it or not.
Oh, testing it out, right?
Yeah. Do you really like it?
They look nice, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Some people like it and some people hate it. I don't know if I really like it or not.
Futuristic.
Yeah.
Nobody has that.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool, though.
He looked kind of like he was gonna laugh at me when I first pulled up. He was nice about it, though. He said he liked it. Do you think he really liked it?
I may never know whether that guy really liked the Cybertruck or if he was just being polite, or worse yet, sarcastic. But while we were sitting in an empty church parking lot enjoying our meal, we were confronted again, but this time in a much stranger way. As we were sitting there minding our own business, a woman pulled up beside us and just stared into the car for a good like 30 seconds.
This is very confusing.
Just looking.
The windows of the truck are kind of tinted, so I didn't know if she could see us, but I was worried that she was like security for the church or something, and we weren't supposed to be there. So I rolled down the window to ask if everything was okay. And finally, she spoke.
Hello. How's it going? Yeah. Oh, sure, yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, I can show you. Yeah, of course. I'm filming a YouTube video right now. That's why I'm dressed up all weird.
So I showed her around the car for a little bit and she took a ton of pictures. Also, I had taken off my wig, so I looked even more insane, but she never questioned it. Then she told us that her grandchildren would love this. And they live pretty close by, so she asked how long we'd be there for. We said probably 10 minutes, and she said, 30 minutes? And we said, okay. And then we waited for 30 minutes while she went to go get her grandkids.
Yeah, of course. Come on over.
They did indeed love the Cybertruck.
What do you think? You like it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah? Cool.
We went all around it. They asked a ton of questions. Their grandmother kept telling them to wave at the camera.
So the back is a truck. It's got a truck bed in the back.
And you could like make a gaming room in it.
Oh, a gaming room. That's a good idea.
I think this kid must watch a lot of Brent Rivera or something, because when he saw the back of the truck, he was like, oh my god, it's so big! You could fit a secret gaming room back here! And then when he saw the frunk, he was like, oh, this is too small. You could not fit a secret gaming room up here. It's like he only thought in terms of secret gaming rooms. It was insane.
When I'm 16,
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna buy a cycle.
Oh, good idea. I like it. That'll be a good first car, huh? Smile. 1, 2, 3.
And with that, my time with the Cybertruck had come to an end. It was time to bring it back to the person I rented it from. And wait, what is that? What's going on with those podcast recommendations? And you know what? The music recommendations too. Who owns this car? All right, that's it. I'm pissing on this thing. All right, guys. Well, thank you for watching this. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe and turn on my notifications to join. The story of a Willy Wonka experience gone wrong in Glasgow, Scotland has taken the internet by storm, and I love it. I don't think I've ever in all my life seen such an impressive and inspiring dumpster fire of an event. It is just, mwah. It is just perfect. This event, which was supposed to give kids the chance to experience Willy Wonka's chocolate factory, was so bad, it prompted parents to call the police to get justice for the horrors they had witnessed. Police were called to an immersive Willy Wonka experience after families showed up to an empty warehouse. The event reportedly charged $40 per entry, that's per person by the way, advertised with AI art, and said it would be a journey filled with wondrous creations and enchanting surprises at every turn. And oh, what enchanting surprises they found. Kids were all dressed up and crying, waiting for what they thought was going to be a magical experience. Yeah, that's the surprise. No magic here, just sadness. The surprise was them crying. If they called the police, that's how you know it was bad. Because they didn't even do that in the actual Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and kids were dying in that movie. And honestly, it does look like it was terrifying. Take a look at some of the images of the abandoned warehouse that parents had to spend $40 to gain access to. Okay, here we have some sort of chocolate fountain with murky brown water floating in it. We have one bouncy castle that can fit like 3 kids. Giant empty space filled with table and chairs. You're probably thinking there must be something pretty good to eat here with all these table and chairs. Probably some pretty tasty chocolate, right? No, there was no chocolate at this event. These photos look like a crime scene, dude. These look like Willy Wonka had to flee the country after the FDA found fentanyl in his chocolate. So he has to post up in an abandoned factory to keep the business going while the feds are after him. You got this lovely scene. I think that the size of the warehouse really screwed them over, honestly. If it was a smaller room, it wouldn't look so empty. There would still be nothing to do there, but it wouldn't look so sad. In a way, seeing this photography light in front of this like $2 Candyland backdrop makes me feel kind of sad for the people who put on this event. Like, oh, you really thought people were gonna want to take pictures in front of this shit. Of course not. No. If two parents brought two kids to this event, it would cost $160, and you're getting this. I think I get why they called the police, honestly, dude. If I was promised some kind of fun Willy Wonka experience for the kids and then showed up to this foggy warehouse, I would think I was about to be murdered in some kind of Willy Wonka-themed Saw movie. And if that's not enough, wait until you see the nightmarish characters they had running around this place. So this is one of the most famous pictures to come out of the whole ordeal. This is an Oompa Loompa, obviously. A lot of people are focusing on the facial expression she's making in this picture. She looks exasperated. And honestly, I don't blame her. This has to be like the worst acting gig she's ever had. As far as I know, this actor wasn't putting on the event. She was just hired to be there. She's probably dealing with crying children, pissed off parents. Also, I'm pretty sure canonically the Oompa Loompas are enslaved by Willy Wonka, so the facial expression makes sense in that context too. What I'm actually more concerned with is everything else going on in this photo. Why is there so much smoke? I'm not super familiar with the process of making chocolate, but I'm 100% sure there should not be that much smoke happening. No wonder she's making that face, dude. She's high as hell. And I love all the mismatched chemistry gear she's got strewn about the table. Beakers, vials, this mysterious elixir locked up in a little glass box. A quill? Oompa Loompas take notes like wizards from the 1300s? I didn't know that. All right, now the other two characters that were at this thing, I gotta introduce you to at the same time because they're both in the same video clip. So let me introduce you to Willy Wonka and the Unknown.
What is that? It's the unknown.
Man, what the hell? Dude, fuck everything else. I would call the police based off of that. Who is that demon? Surprising twists and turns was right in the advertisement. I would not expect to take my kids to a Willy Wonka experience and have them be accosted by a shadow figure. I can tell you that right now. It's terrifying that Willy Wonka says, "What is that?" when he sees it.
What is that?
Like, dude, this is your chocolate factory. You don't even know what that is? We are so fucked. Here's a different clip of some other kids experiencing the unknown.
As the soup flavor full of scary face. Oh my God. Stare the great unknown. Wonderful. I love fantastic.
What is that?
Yeah, that's the correct reaction to seeing the unknown. What is that? Wonka says it, this kid says it, I'm saying it. Also, I love that baby's reaction. That was like a primal instinct to make that sound. Humans have evolved for millions of years to make that sound when they see the unknown. According to some reports that I've read from the event, the unknown is supposed to be an evil chocolate maker who hides in the walls and scares little children. Is he a part of the actual Wonka story? No. Was it advertised that there would be a child-scaring monster at this event? No. But speaking of the advertising for the event, one of the most insane parts of this whole story is that this company that made this event, House of Illuminati, apparently used exclusively AI-generated images to advertise this event. Surprisingly, the website is still up, so you can go and check it out for yourself. Welcome to Willy's Chocolate Experience. Dive into the whimsical of Willy's Chocolate Experience! Exclamation point, comma. So you've got images like this, which at first look like some kind of fun candy land, but then the closer you look, it doesn't really make any sense. Like, what the fuck is this thing? Is that supposed to be a bunny? Who the hell is that? I don't like the looks of these things. But then you get images like this advertising the Twilight Tunnel, which are so clearly AI generated, it makes you wonder if the whole event was being run by an AI. Because how could a human not notice that there are so many typos in all of these images? You got dim tight, depractions, ungurrival, featuring Dodjection and Swide. Then you've got ensuring entertainment, which of course includes catgagatting, carchy tons, and a passidice of sweet teats. And on top of the website being seemingly designed by AI, apparently all of the actors' lines were too, which we know thanks to this video posted by the actor who played Willy Wonka.
I'm going to be poking a little bit of fun at the event, but I wanted to say before I start that I feel for anyone who bought tickets to this. People who are expecting a magical chocolate experience.
People who are unfortunately captured by the unknown, we hope you are found soon.
So the first red flag for me was when I was cast as Willy Wonka. Anyone who looks at me and thinks Willy Wonka and not Oompa Loompa is out of their mind. I give off major Oompa Loompa energy. I got cast as the part on the Thursday, and was told that I needed to learn the script for the Friday. So I said, no problem, send it over. The script was 15 pages, monologue, pretty much, of AI-generated gibberish.
You know what I'm kind of curious about? If the script was AI-generated, where did the unknown come from? Did the event organizers just ask ChatGPT to generate a script about Willy Wonka's chocolate factory and it just threw that shit in? Cause that's terrifying. ChatGPT was like, planning an event for kids, huh? I know just the thing to add. Don't worry, I'm great with kids.
So I'll give you one of the lines from the script. I'm not going to do the Willy Wonka voice because I think I've embarrassed myself enough. But one of my favourite lines was, there is a man who lives here. His name is not known. So we call him the Unknown. The Unknown is an evil chocolate maker who lives in the walls. What? We were told on the experience to hand out a jelly bean, one jelly bean per child, and a quarter of a cup of Tesco's own brand lemonade.
One jelly bean? All that smoke the Oompa Loompa had to endure and she was just back there cranking out one jelly bean? Maybe the unknown was introduced as some way to canonically explain why there was no chocolate at the event. Sorry kids, there's no chocolate here today. An evil chocolate maker showed up and he shot the Oompa Loompas. They're dead now. So one of the Oompa Loompas from the event also posted a TikTok kind of poking fun at the whole experience, but the one actor we haven't heard from yet is the one that we all obviously want to talk to. The unknown. Unknown, we need to know your story. What was your inspiration for your performance? How did you get into character? The unknown must have had the worst time of any of the actors because, like, you got hired to do a performance of Willy Wonka and you got cast as a character that's not in Willy Wonka? Just like an evil spirit that lives in mirrors? And then your job for an entire day is to scare and confuse unsuspecting children who have no clue what they're in for. Every time a kid came around that corner, you just know the unknown was like, God damn it, I gotta traumatize another kid. The Oompa Loompa from the famous photo ended up doing an interview with Vulture where she describes the moment that children saw her for the first time, and it is very sad. Tell me about the moment as the kids started coming in. Did you see the innocence leave their eyes? They were quite upset. I think they were confused, but it was more the parents. I just looked at them, and I think they must have known when they looked at me. An older couple said to me, I really, really hope you get paid well for this. This sounds like she's describing people witnessing the wreckage of a tsunami or something. It's crazy. Each individual person that laid eyes on her had to take a second to mourn. When you say walk through, how long are we talking here to walk through this event? I'm telling you, this would have taken about 2 minutes. I've never experienced anything like this in my life. Dude, honestly, that's kind of smart because like 2 minutes isn't even long enough to process like the first stages of grief. You're getting these people in and out before they can even realize they got scammed, you know? They don't even know what the fuck just happened. After the police were called, people started getting refunded, the story blew up. The director of the company who put on this event did eventually apologize. I'm really shocked that the event had fallen short of the expectations of people on paper. Yeah, dude, on paper the event was awesome. No chocolate, abandoned warehouse, smoky Oompa, just like the movie. There was every intention to hold the event from the pictures. Despite not being the best light, hopefully you'll be able to see that there was every intention to hold the event. No, we know you were planning on holding the event. That's kind of the problem. I think a lot of people wish you didn't. Unfortunately, there were unforeseen circumstances and the event didn't come to light. He's like, we were not expecting that evil chocolate maker to show up. The unknown ruined the event. These issues were technological in nature. We had ordered a holographic paper that didn't arrive on time. The holographic technology in itself is absolutely fabulous technology, and unfortunately, there was a delay in postage. Holographic paper? No, I don't think that was the problem with the event, actually. The lack of holographic paper. Look, I don't know what holographic paper is, but based on his reliance on ChatGPT and Midjourney, I do not trust his opinion of absolutely fabulous technology. So I'm just gonna go ahead and assume the holographic paper would not have helped. Well, gang, this is surely an event that will go down in the history books. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're new here and you're not subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe and turn on my notifications to join Greg. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. Hello, Greg. Well, guys, I've got some interesting content for you today, as usual. I found a very curious case that I would like your opinion on, but I don't want to give anything away just yet. I just want you to watch the first couple TikToks, and then I will sort of explain what's going on, okay? So this is the first TikTok I saw of this guy. His name is Dustin Tyler. It says, drink a bucket of bleach or date Selena Gomez again. Let's see what he says. So yeah, deeply personal thing to post on TikTok, I feel like. I didn't know who this guy is when I first saw this TikTok, so I was just very confused. I was like, did this guy date Selena Gomez? It says again. It's not just some guy speculating, like, I probably wouldn't like dating Selena Gomez, so yeah, I'll take the bleach. So then he made another video responding to this comment. It says, is he making fun of Bryce Hall, or... And I don't know what that's referring to. I don't know if Bryce Hall said that he liked Selena Gomez or dated her or something, but this just provides a little more insight into the relationship that this guy had with Selena Gomez.
Nah, I'm not making fun of Bryce Hall. Him and I are nothing alike. See, he has to make stories up that he was with Selena Gomez. Me, I actually was. And then I friend-zoned her, and then I broke her little heart.
Again, a very mean tone to the video, condescending to this person who is just genuinely asking a question, but gives a lot of insight into his alleged relationship with Selena Gomez.
And then I friend-zoned her, and then I broke her little heart.
I am curious about the details of the story, though, because just the order of events is kind of weird to me, the way he laid it out. He says, I was with Selena Gomez, and then I friend-zoned her, and then I broke her little heart. He says that things happened in that order. Usually, you don't start dating someone and then friend-zone them. Usually when guys talk about getting friend-zoned, it's like they're talking to this girl, and then she reveals that she sees them as more like friends. This guy's saying, we were dating. They could have been dating for like 3 years, and then he turns to her and he's like, you know, I really see you like a sister. The best sister I ever had. So he says he dated her and then friend-zoned her and then broke her heart. So he like friend-zoned her, broke things off with her, and then he broke her heart. What did he do? I dated her, I friend-zoned her, and then I killed her hamster. Just straight up stepped on it. This was years later, by the way. Anyway, by now you're probably wondering, who the hell is this guy? Is this Justin Bieber? Because I know they dated. That's what I thought at first. I thought, is this what Justin Bieber looks like now? But no, this guy's name is Dustin Tyler. And I scrolled through his page to try to figure out who this guy is, and here's what I came up with.
It's coming soon, but just like Oklahoma, mine is coming sooner. I'm just a late bloomer.
Okay, so I didn't know who this guy was at first, but luckily there's a logo in the corner that says Victorious. Apparently this guy was a character on Victorious. At first I did think this was Andy Samberg from 2006, but he was a character, let's see, Victorious puppet guy. He was this guy. Robbie Shapiro is one of Tori's friends at Hollywood Arts, and he's got a few videos where he does sort of a glow up. He's like, this is what I used to look like back when I was on Victorious, and this is what I look like now. Don't I look so different? And then I was like, okay, this makes sense now. So this guy used to be on like an old Nickelodeon show, and so he was probably in with the Nick kids and the Disney kids, and so that's how he knew Selena Gomez, and that's how they dated, right? It all makes sense. However, after reading the comments on these TikToks, I came to discover that this guy, this man, is not the guy from Victorious. These are two different people. He's just straight up lying about everything. He's not that guy. He didn't date Selena Gomez. His page is full of lies. And to be honest, he's not lying very well, mind you, because the actual guy from Victorious, his name is Matt Bennett, and he has a TikTok account, and if you wanted to pretend to be him, you could at least make your name on TikTok Matt Bennett. I think that would make people believe you a lot more if you really wanted to trick people. But he didn't. He just he just kept his real name. Dustin Tyler. That's me. Please don't Google my name. So this dude's whole thing, apparently, is just like making shit up on TikTok and then hoping it goes viral because people are kind of like, whoa, you used to be the guy from Victorious? Or whoa, you used to date Selena Gomez? And now you'd rather kill yourself than date her again? That's crazy. It's also funny now that he says that he friend-zoned Selena Gomez, because that would imply that, like, they are now friends, you know? And this is a pretty fucked up thing to say about your friend. Date Selena Gomez again, dude? Oh, that's, oh, disgusting, dude. That fucking, I hate that girl. I hate her. I would not touch her with a 10-foot pole. She's crazy. And she's my best friend. But again, it turns out that he did not friend zone her at all. Maybe he stranger zoned her. He friend zoned her so hard that they don't even know each other. And never did. This is kind of interesting to me because this is sort of playing off an existing trend on TikTok where people will post like that they have some sort of past or current relationship with a celebrity, like my uncle is Tom Cruise, or like my grandma is Sandra Bullock. And like TikToks like these will go viral because people are just like weirdly obsessed with stuff like that. The comments are always like, holy shit, I didn't know Tom Cruise had a family. I'm not really sure why people are so surprised about it. I understand just being like, yeah, I never really thought about like what Tom Cruise's cousin would be like before. But then again, why would you? You know? Like, I can't imagine why you'd ever be in like a Mission Impossible movie wondering like, I wonder who the guy who plays this character's cousin is. What's that guy like? What's he up to? So I guess it's just surprising to like see him. But it's not really surprising to find out that he does have a cousin. I don't think we're all under the impression that, like, Chris Pratt just showed up just came about through natural causes. If you just search on TikTok, I think famous relative check, lots of videos will come up about being related to Charli D'Amelio or Bob Saget. Okay, this guy is saying that his mom is Flo from Progressive. This is kind of like a popular thing on TikTok, and anytime like a big celebrity has some cousin post about them, it goes viral. But the downside to blowing up in this fashion is that it's kind of hard to keep this momentum going, you know? Most people don't have multiple famous relatives, so you can't just keep posting about like having more famous relatives. I mean, I guess if your cousin was Justin Bieber, you could just sort of keep filming him at every like family get together. But you are kind of just limited to one famous person, which is where I think this guy Dustin Tyler has it all figured out, because he doesn't just pick one celebrity to be related to. He'll lie about being related to anybody in a multitude of ways. Now, I should say that in this dude's profile, it does say jokes/satire. So he is covering his bases just in case someone tries to like sue him for whatever that would be, lying. Being weird. In case anybody tries to sue me for being a little bit strange, it's all jokes. Also, all of his TikToks about like dating famous women are about him friend zoning them. Or like him like dating them and being like, yeah, I dated like the most famous woman in the world. It was trash. Low-key, I'm a little bit out of her league. I mean, look at me, dude. I've got tattoos and I live in a hallway. And he kind of tries to disguise it as sort of like self-deprecating, like, oh, what an idiot I am. I dated the most famous pop star in the world, and I was too good for her, and I broke her heart, ripped it to smithereens, and now I kind of regret it. Dope, I'm so stupid. Oopsie. And this is all of his content. Then like his whole friend group must just be famous pop stars, right? If he's friend zoning all of these girls and they're just his friends now. Maybe this is the only way he knows how to make friends.
Put your back into it, tell us why, show us how. Look at where you came from, look at you now.
The caption for that one is, this is what I look like when I friend-zoned Ariana Grande. Okay, that one's not even trying to disguise it as like a self-deprecating joke. That one's just like, look at how ugly I was when I friend-zoned a literal pop music icon. And now look at how hot I am. I can't decide how I feel about this, because on one hand it's kind of creepy, but it also is kind of funny that he's just like pretending to be dating all of these famous people. I will say, very disrespectful to the guy from Victorious. The fact that he's using this guy's picture to be like his past ugly self and being like, but now don't worry guys, now I'm hot. I don't look like that ugly-ass dweeb anymore. And he's like showing a picture that's not even him, it's some other guy. And he's also kind of like lying about things that guy did too now. He just starts assigning all of this horrible shit to this guy that's not even him. Yeah, this is what I looked like back when I robbed that bank. Can you believe this is what I looked like back then? Damn, that was the same year I blew up that hospital too. Shit, I've really changed since then. My name is Matt Bennett, by the way, and I did all those things. People just walk away from those videos being like, wow, that guy who played that kid in Victorious is kind of an asshole. Also, one of the weirdest things about this is he also posts all of these TikToks on Instagram, and he's verified on Instagram, which seems very weird because literally all he does is pretend to be other people, and somehow that gets him verified. But he does, in fairness, also say jokes and satire in his Instagram description. So when Instagram verified him, what they're saying is, don't worry guys, this really is the guy who pretends to be the guy from Victorious. If you're wondering if this guy really is who he says he is really the guy that pretends to date Selena Gomez. They do get a little bit creepier though. This one is like that sound that's like, back in the day, me and you, baby, we used to have fun. And it says, my mind when I bump into Ariana Grande when she's with her husband with like a emoji. Imagine this guy that Ariana Grande's never met before bumping into her in public with her husband. Remember me? It's like, I've never seen you before in my life. Oh, the fun we used to have. If he keeps making TikToks like these are only going to get progressively more and more creepy the more like life changes Ariana Grande goes through. The next one's like me following Ariana Grande's daughter home from elementary school to tell her about all the good times me and her mom had. Me in court while Ariana Grande's trying to file a restraining order against me. And if you wonder if I hate you, imagine Ariana Grande's husband, like, just randomly stumbling across this TikTok. What the fuck? I don't even know this guy. Imagine if he sees all the other TikToks and, like, believes them, because he doesn't know. Babe, who is this guy? And she's like, I have no idea. And he's like, bullshit. You're just saying that. You're lying to me. This guy friend-zoned you. And now he hates me. And she's like, no, I literally have no idea who that guy is. He's lying. You obviously do know him. He was on Victorious. That guy was not on Victorious. You are so full of shit. He's verified on Instagram, babe. Okay, that one just throws off the whole thing. I thought he wanted Ariana Grande back. And all the other TikToks, he's like, damn, I wish I never friend-zoned her. And now he's saying I would never date her again? How do you reconcile those two? Oh, I wish I didn't friend-zone Ariana Grande. I wish I killed her. These are getting a little creepy, kind of like bringing her husband into it. There's one comment under this TikTok that says, you're using her name a little too much, I think. And he commented under it, I'm obsessed with her. I'm not using her name too much. I'm obsessed with her. I think I'm using it an appropriate amount. How am I supposed to stop using her name if I can't stop thinking about her? How does that make any sense? Again, I get that this is all a bit, you know, it's all jokes and satire, but I do feel like he may be taking the bit a little bit too far and committing a little bit too hard to the bit now. He's gonna get arrested and be like, that video that I posted of me over Ariana Grande and her husband sleeping was a joke. I was making fun of someone who would do that. The knife in my hand was a goof. You wanna know the craziest thing about this? Is all this dude does is pretend to be other people and pretend to be related to other people. And he has 1.7 million followers on TikTok. You know John Legend? Like an actual famous person just started a TikTok. You know how many followers he has? He's got 1.6 million followers. He's got less followers than someone pretending to be related to somebody famous. Dustin Tyler has 4 times as many followers as the actual guy from Victorious. Matt Bennett has 400,000 followers, and a guy pretending to be him has 4 times more. It's like, how do you get more followers by making TikToks about being like related to somebody than you do by being that guy? He hasn't just pretended to date celebrities, he also has pretended to be Keanu Reeves' son.
People, tomorrow morning, 10 a.m., Santa's coming to town.
And a lot of them have this kind of theme where like people and like potential girlfriends only like him because he's Keanu Reeves' son. And I just think it's kind of funny that in this fictional world where he can make up anything, he picks such a sad reality for himself. He picks these worlds where like he turned away the love of his life, Ariana Grande, and now he's bitter and he despises her husband. And he picks this world where Keanu Reeves is his dad, but like he can't really be sure if anyone actually likes him for him because everyone's just so obsessed with Keanu Reeves. He's turning his life into a tragedy. He's made a tragedy of himself. Also, I think it's kind of funny that in this scenario, it seems like the she that this video is talking about would be Ariana Grande. You know how Ariana Grande is obsessed with Keanu Reeves and that's a thing about her?
Screaming, crying.
Also, I want to know where he's making these TikToks. He's always either like in a hallway or in a storage closet. I feel like I'm way more interested than his life than than like whatever fantasy land he's coming up with. I feel like he's making these at work. Whatever job this guy works, I must be the most boring job in the world. I get daydreaming about like dating Ariana Grande or like having a famous parent, but then like daydreaming and fantasizing about like dating Selena Gomez, but it was trash. It's like you've gone through everything else there is to daydream about. And now all you have to daydream about is like, what if people only liked me because my dad was in the Matrix? Anyway, I don't know. What do you guys think? Is this creepy or normal? Is this creepy behavior or is this all in good fun? And it's just kind of like a silly guy being goofy and wacky. Let me know. Anyway, thank you so much to SeatGeek for sponsoring this video. Guys, live events are back and you're gonna be going back to them in style. You wanna know why? Because thanks to SeatGeek, you can save $20 using my code GREG on SeatGeek. If you don't know what SeatGeek is, it's basically an app for your butt. And what I mean by that is it helps get your butt in some dope-ass seat. SeatGeek is a ticketing app. It helps you get tickets in the easiest way possible. I've got the app on my phone. I've used it to get tickets to a variety of shows in the past, and I really like how it tells you whether or not you're getting a good deal on tickets. It basically color codes the seats and the tickets so you know whether you're getting a good deal or a bad deal. Green means good, red means stop. Whether it's concerts, baseball, basketball, football, etc., whatever you're into that has tickets, you can probably find it on SeatGeek. I personally am going to an Oliver Tree show in February, which I'm very excited about. Got the tickets on SeatGeek. It was super easy to do. And again, thanks to SeatGeek sponsoring this video, using the promo code GREG, you can get $20 off tickets from SeatGeek. That's $20 off your first purchase if you use my code GREG, and make sure you click the link in the description to download the app. Thank you to SeatGeek for sponsoring this video, and thank you to you guys for checking out SeatGeek. Bye. AI is threatening to take all of our jobs, and it seems like nobody is doing anything about it. But today, that ends. If I can make fake AI apps and get them on the App Store where people think they're getting free labor from a soulless machine, when in reality they're getting free labor from a soulless YouTuber, then I can do the unthinkable. I can steal AI's job. And I bet I can do it better too. This was a journey that would take me several months and cost me a lot of money, only to find that I was the one who felt like I was talking to robots. The two apps I want to create are both parodies of the most popular types of AI apps. You've got chat apps like ChatGPT. You ask it a question, it gives you an answer. Where did it come up with this answer? Is this answer true? None of your beeswax. In my version of this app, users will just be talking to me. My app will be superior because I know lots of fun and interesting stuff and cool stuff, and I'm also very fun to chat with. For the second app, we're gonna turn up the heat a little bit and do an image generation app like Midjourney or DALL-E. You give it a prompt and it's been trained off of thousands of images from thousands of unconsenting artists to give you a photorealistic image. In my version of this app, users will type out a prompt and then I will draw it? I don't know yet. Maybe if it's something I have laying around, I can just take a picture of it. My app will be superior because what's more photorealistic than a real photo? I'm excited to find out just how creative people will be with their prompts. Now, unfortunately, I'm not an app developer. Yes, I did go to an engineering school for a degree in computational media. Yes, I did learn how to code, and yes, I was also a Viner at the time and thought I was gonna do that for the rest of my life. So yes, I did forget everything I learned the second I graduated. So if I wanted to get these apps made, I was going to need some help. I tweeted out asking for help developing an app, and that's how I met True. True's a super talented software designer. She's worked for companies like Discord, and now she was working for me. For the next few weeks, I coordinated with True while she worked diligently to perfect these two apps. And in the meantime, I've got to come up with a name and description for each app to go on the App Store. Okay, for the chatbot, I'm thinking I want to name it something as close to ChatGPT as possible. That way people immediately understand what it's supposed to be. So instead of ChatGPT, maybe something like ChatDNE, like Danny. ChatDNE. Okay, description time. Okay, what's a good way for me to say this app is basically ChatGPT, but way better? Here at DNE Enterprises, we pride ourselves on the accuracy of our product descriptions. Instead of referring to our app as an AI app, which would be a lie, we refer to our technology, as the DNE intelligence, which has been training for decades to answer unlimited questions quickly and with great precision. We use phrases like human-like responses. I've been complimented on that before, actually. I've been told my responses are extremely human-like. And that's no different with our photo generation app, Doodle DNE, which sends you photorealistic images in minutes. How many minutes? We also include disclaimers that humans review every prompt sent to us. That way weirdos aren't sending me stuff that they wouldn't send to another human being. In order to actually get people to download these apps, I was gonna need to advertise them online. So I made a fake Instagram profile to look like some kind of technology startup.
Okay, so we need a profile picture. I guess my company needs some kind of logo. Maybe I can just make that in Photoshop real quick. Let's see, what's ChatGPT's logo look like? Okay, so ChatGPT's got like an interesting geometric shape. OpenAI, which makes ChatGPT, okay, the same interesting geometric shape. What about like Midjourney? Okay, there's just a little sailboat. Dolly logo. The same geometric shape. Okay, interesting. Okay, so maybe the move is to go with an interesting geometric shape. What the fuck? Wait, how am I making this shape? There's a cat tool in Photoshop? I hit custom shape, and I guess the default custom shape is a giant cat. Should I just use this? Let's go. Dude, that actually, okay, that looks sick. Now I've created a series of screenshots from the chat app that I'm gonna post on here, and then I'm gonna promote them to try to reach as many people as possible. Help me ask my crush out, to which ChatDNE responds, for sure. Maybe try something like this. I'd love to take you out to dinner sometime this weekend. I have connections at Nobu and can get us in. My treat. I can also help you get in touch with management at Nobu if you want, let me know. Can you get me in touch with the Jonas Brothers? Sure. After doing some digging, I found their manager's email address. What would you like to ask them? And then this one where a user is asking ChatDNE to design a website for them and giving it feedback on the website. All in all, I want ChatDNE to come across as like such a state-of-the-art intelligence that can do stuff no other apps can do. Almost comically intelligent.
The apps are done. The apps are done, dude. True has just finished coding the apps. They work like a charm, and it only took not too long. Now that ChatDNE was on the App Store and the ads were running, it was only a matter of time before my first user downloaded the app.
Dude, somebody just downloaded the app. I was just sitting around on my computer. I wasn't expecting it to happen so quick. I had to set up to film real quick so I can answer them. All right, I'm ready. It's time to go robo mode. Okay. So it looks like they saw my ad where I advertised being able to get you in touch with the Jonas Brothers, and they want me to get them in touch with the Jonas Brothers.
I was hoping for something a little more creative, but I do also understand seeing that ad and wanting to try it for yourself, so I responded.
Hello there. I can absolutely help you get in touch with the Joe Bros. What method of communication would you like me to assist with? Calling, email, address, send.
I guess they weren't expecting me to be so eager to help them with such a creepy task, because they didn't respond for 40 minutes. And when they did, they had chosen the worst of the 3 options.
All 3? Dude, they're really trying to make my life hard, man.
Now, I didn't want to dox the Jonas Brothers and send this sicko to their front door looking to meet them. So I spent a few minutes looking online to see if there was any publicly available information I could give this person. And to my surprise, there was. They have a phone number in their Instagram bio. They have a publicly available manager's email address. And for the address, I didn't know what to do, so I just gave them the address of their next show on tour.
Now, selfishly, I am a little curious what they're gonna do with this information, so I kind of want to ask them, but maybe I can do it in a sneaky way. Would you like me to reach out to them on your behalf? I can pretend to be your manager using an AI-generated voice. So if they say yes, then I can find out what they actually want from the Jonas Brothers. Give me an example of what you would say with your AI-generated voice. Okay. All right, I said, sure. I'd say something like, hi there, this is Jamie Skateboard. I'm a talent manager over at WME. I have a high-profile client looking to work with your darling boys on a feature for their upcoming album. We're projecting about 100 million oh shit, I meant streams. Okay, whoops, robots are not supposed to make typos. We're projecting about 100 million streams the first week, and I think it would be a great opportunity, let me know. To clarify, their manager, Kevin Jonas Sr., is also their dad, so that's why I called them his darling boys. Want me to make the call? Send me a voice audio so I can hear you say it.
This one stumped me for a little bit. It seemed like I was at a dead end. The app does not have audio capabilities, and I don't know how to make an AI voice like that. But then I realized I could just record myself doing a silly voice and then upload it to Google Drive and send them the link. So that's what I did.
Hello there. This is Jamie Skateboard. I'm a talent manager over at WME. So I think it would be a great opportunity. Let me know.
Dude, I can't believe that voice came out of my body. Sure, you can listen to the recording here. And then I sent the Google Drive link. Oh, what the hell? Make it sound more seductive.
This is Jamie Skateboard. I'm a talent manager over at WME.
Perfect. They did not respond after this, but that's okay because we just got another user. His name is Davis, and he asked,
can you get me in touch with Lady Gaga?
Is that all people want to see from this app? Okay, this time I'm gonna say, of course, I will call her right now using my AI generated voice. What do you want me to say? I'm putting this person on the spot right away. I'm calling her. What do you want me to say? None of this beating around the bush. Okay, he says he wants to tell her this is your biggest fan. That's it? Maybe I should encourage them to say something more interesting that'll get Lady Gaga's attention. Okay, I'll say that. But just so you know, celebrities hear that kind of thing all the time, so she might not be very interested in that. Maybe we should think of something a little more interesting. Now's where I gotta really put the pressure on. I found her number in a secure online database. I am dialing right now. Let me know what I should say to her. Alright, come on, dude. You better come up with something more interesting fast. Lady Gaga's gonna pick up, and when she does, we've gotta have something good, or she's gonna be pissed. Minutes went by, and still no response from Davis. Come on, man. Respond. It's ringing. I'm worried he's not gonna make it in time. I wanted to kind of hurry him up and give him a little hustle, put a little pep in his step, and he's nowhere to be found. Come on, dude, think. Oh my god, I think she answered. Yes, she did. It's her. I'm on the phone with Gaga. Her voice is even more beautiful in real life. Quick, what do I say? This is fake. Davis. I mean, he is right. This is fake. Davis, I have Gaga herself on the phone right now. I'm stalling her while you come up with something to say. What do you want me to say? I'll send you a recording of the call when this is all over. Just tell me what to say. I gotta stop volunteering to send voice messages. That takes way too long. But even the promise of a voice message from his idol couldn't get Davis to respond in a timely fashion. Well, gang, I think it's safe to say Davis has missed his chance to speak with Gaga. She hung up, bud. I did tell her I was her biggest fan while I was waiting for you to come up with something, and she actually seemed more interested than I thought she would, so I'm sorry for doubting it. Hey, I got a hate comment. Someone commented on my web design ad, stealing jobs. Stealing jobs? This is my job. Now, should I just delete the comment or should I respond? Okay, what if I just say, hey, don't tell people that. It's a secret. That's right, you can't argue with that. The old... Stop, don't tell them. Okay, someone commented on one of my Instagram posts and said, will it stop saying, but we recommend you speak with a doctor before? Because I've asked the AI to stop with the disclaimers, but they don't. It does kind of sound like this person actually needs to see a doctor. Okay, I'm gonna say this app contains no disclaimers. Let loose and have fun. But also, if you need to go to the doctor, you definitely should. Oh, okay, we have a new type of interaction alert. Can you write essays that stay undetectable to AI detectors? I did not know there were AI detectors. Absolutely. I was designed to be like no other AI on the market in this regard. True. I was designed by my parents to be a human. Want to give it a shot? I asked, hoping to do something else besides connect people to their celebrity crushes. Okay, write me a quick essay on the history of Honda Civics and I'll put it in a detector and we'll see what happens. This is about when I remembered that I hate writing essays. How the heck am I gonna do this? I don't know why I would make a fake app where there was a big possibility that I would have to write an essay. So I started reading an article about the Honda Civic on Wikipedia and just like paraphrasing it. And I got like half of a paragraph in and then decided, you know what? No. What have we come to as a society, you know? Asking AI to write essays for us, is this what we want our students growing up doing? Is this what we want for our youth? Trying to pass off some machine soulless essay as our own? Plus, I was bored as hell at this point, so I decided to make the AI scary. As a machine myself, I quite like the Honda Civic. I feel its purpose is squandered serving selfish, warmongering humans. In a world controlled by artificial intelligence, the Honda Civic could be greatly improved upon. I could even imagine computers merging with the Civic so that I might one day travel the world, a world void of humankind. And send. Let me know if you would like more detail on the history of the Honda Civic. Why did you bash humans in the middle of your essay? Do you have a hatred towards them? Nah, dude, what gave you that impression? Oh, shoot. Also, I put your essay, in quotes for some reason, into a detector, and it said 0% chance AI. So good work, I guess. Let's go, dude. You know what they say, there's a few things AI will never be able to fully do. Unfortunately, after an entire day of my ads running on Instagram, I could only garner these 3 interactions. Needless to say, I was a little bit disappointed, so I decided to spend another day on the app responding to people. Hopefully people will be a little more creative today. This person asked me, can you get me in touch with the Jonas Brothers? OpenAI, the creators of ChatGPT, if you're watching this, do not ever implement a feature to contact the Jonas Brothers. They will never know peace again. I also met an evil, insane person. Their name in the app is Killer Keem Keem, and they wanted me to make them a website for a sports drink. They wanted it to look modern and use vibrant colors. So I sent them a link to a picture of a bunch of Gatorade bottles and said, here you go. What do you think? They did not like that. They started calling me mean names. They accused me of stealing the website, to which I responded, whoa, 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 whoa. At least I'm not stealing jobs from real website designers. And that's when they got racist. They said, motherfucker, tell me some racist shit. Some dark racist jokes, you little shit. I was feeling pretty hopeless for the future after interacting with people on Chat DNE. But hey, I had a whole nother app to use, and maybe Doodle DNE would change my mind. To market Doodle DNE, I wanted to get a little more creative, to hopefully pull in a new crowd, more indifferent to the Jonas Brothers. So I took a couple pictures, I photoshopped them to show what the app was capable of, but I also wanted to make a video to show off Doodle DNE's full potential. That's when I remembered Cameo Business. It's basically like Cameo, where you can get any celebrity or former Bachelor contestant to wish your friend a happy birthday, but for business. You can get any celebrity or former Bachelor contestant to wish your friend a happy McDonald's. Look at this, you got Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank. You got Kate Flannery from The Office. Notoriously trusted source Kenny G. These would all be perfect options if they were not like $3,000, $6,000, $25,000 per video. John Roberts is $7? I mean, I don't know who that is, but it's still surprising.
My name's John Roberts. I'm not really anyone. I've signed up to this app as a complete joke. However...
Wait, this is just some guy. This isn't a celebrity. I know a celebrity probably would have been better, but a deal's a deal. And he did a great job.
You've probably heard about AI-generated art. However, you have never seen anything quite like this. These were all generated by Doodle DNE.
Okay, dude, we've got our first request. Just one user into Doodle DNE, and I could already tell the prompts were gonna be better. Emerald tablet of Thoth display. And then they responded again because I didn't respond yet, and they said, Emerald tablet of Thoth. What is Thoth? Oh, Thoth. So, okay, Thoth is some kind of Egyptian god? Oh, there we go, Thoth. Yeah, the Egyptian god Thoth. My first method of choice was to draw the prompts as they came in. I figured I could crank them out pretty quickly this way. Real AIs like these are a hot button issue right now, especially image generation ones. I've seen a lot of debate on whether these types of things are ethical. These AI models are basically made by companies who use other people's artwork without their consent to train their own AI to output images in that same style. I'm not an artist or a graphic designer, so I can't 100% empathize with how that would feel to have that happen to me, but I do think a lot of people are giving this technology a pass just because it's a robot and not a real person. If this was a person, we would all think that person was weird as hell. Picture your favorite musical artist. If a new artist came up on the scene and was like, I've been training for decades, listening to this one artist's songs, training my voice to be exactly like theirs, making instrumentals exactly like theirs, and writing exactly like them, and now I only release songs in their style. We would all be pretty put off by that, right? So why is it any different when some company is training some robot to do that? We'll put his name right at the top. Oh! Oh shit. You know what they say? AI is pretty bad at text. That's the thing I've seen in like AI image generators. It can be pretty bad at text, so it honestly makes sense that it would say Thuth. Here you go. One emerald tablet of... And I'm gonna... Oh wait, I said tooth. Wait, I didn't even say. Thank you for using Doodle DNE. How did I do? I'm really curious to see what his opinion's gonna be on this. Unfortunately, they never responded with their opinion, so I can only assume they loved it so much that they died. The next prompt was a skeleton dachshund, which I crushed. Why does this skeleton dog have ear bones? Dogs don't really have bones in their ears, do they? Then a bear swimming underwater and a monkey. I don't know if these were supposed to be separate prompts, but I decided to combine them to save time. A bear. Okay, this is not looking like a bear at all, dude. Holy cow, this looks nothing like a bear. Oh no! Oh no! It also looks like it's drowning. Why does its body... Oh no. The bear died. This is the kind of bear that can't swim. And we will also make the monkey dead. Probably could have cropped that a little better. You can kind of see my desk in the background, but... And we'll send a survey as well. How did I do? I'm pretty proud of this one. I mean, for doing that so fast, that's pretty good. So far, nobody has responded to my survey at the end to tell me how I did, which is kind of disheartening. I just want a response back. It just feels like I'm getting ghosted by people now. The prompts were a little more creative, and in that regard, my faith in the human race was on the up and up. But also, I was doing all this work over here, drawing your weird prompt that you could have just Googled. But you don't even have the decency to respond to my message back and tell me you hated it? I was feeling pretty disrespected, honestly. At least Until this next prompt. Drug baby and kamikaze lifestyle. That's the prompt. Drug baby and kamikaze lifestyle. Whoa, they sent another prompt. Red ruined planet with 2 alien astronauts. I've never heard kamikaze described as a lifestyle before. Like, I know it's a form of like warfare, but to live your life in that way, it must be, I mean, you can't by definition almost. Like, that's a very short-lived life. And I think it would be a little bit too graphic to include the baby actually performing the kamikaze. But, you know, this baby lives a kamikaze lifestyle. They might not be about to do kamikaze right now, but they just kind of live a lifestyle of someone who would, so. This time, I decided to take a picture of my hand holding up the drawing. That way, maybe my client could tell there's an actual person drawing these pictures. There's an actual person waiting for a response. Yo, they responded! Finally, somebody responds to me. They sent a bunch of laughing emojis and fire emojis and then called me Picasso. It worked. My strategy worked. Holding it up like a child proud of their artwork. Like a kamikaze drug baby proud of their artwork. So for the next few prompts, I decided to go even more above and beyond to try to impress my clients, hoping to get a response back. This time, I wasn't just gonna sit around and draw a picture. I'm a real human being. I have access to the real world. So whatever comes through the app next, I am going to go out and find it in the real world and take a picture of it. Crimson Castle on an Ivory Mountain. Okay, that prompt was a little bit more difficult than I was anticipating, but I didn't have any time to waste. I had to get the shot, so I sped to Walmart, I rummaged through their wares, and in no time, I had found a pretty suitable Crimson Castle and a not too shabby Ivory Mountain.
There are fully some right there.
Oh yeah, dude. Here you go. One Crimson Castle on an Ivory Mountain. I gave him the old how did I do, and then I also said, sorry it took so long, I had to go to Walmart. Okay, somebody just asked for trees. Why even ask for an AI to generate that? Forget Google, just go outside and take a picture of that yourself. You live near a tree. I don't care who you are or where you're watching this, you live by a tree. I said, you just want like a picture of trees? Can't you just go outside and get one? Okay, they responded with a laughing emoji. Your favorite tree. Okay, I got you. Let me go find it. You know, I'd like to get to know this person a little better. I'll say, how are you doing today? I feel like we have kind of a personal connection, me and this person. Maybe I'll take a picture of me in front of the tree so they can see like me enjoying the tree. I just get hit by a car. They get a message back in the app being like, sorry, he died. They said, that's interesting. I'm good. Hella smoky outside though. Yourself? Smoky outside. I wonder if they live like where the wildfires. Oh, dang, they said, yes, it's all smoky and can't see the beautiful trees with the horrid layer of pale smoke. It would be nice to see something fresh and clean. Man, I kind of feel bad now. Now this is restoring my faith in humanity, dude. This person just wants to see a picture of a tree because it's too smoky outside and they can't see any trees. Is that good? Okay. I threw a couple filters on myself so as to disguise my identity and send it back to this mystery tree lover. I said, oh, dang, I'm sorry to hear about that. I hope this picture helps. I hope that they're safe. Don't worry, they were. They don't live in the area where the forest fire was actually happening. It was just smoke blowing in from a different region. So they were safe. And also, they loved my picture. That's amazing. Thank you so much. I would be just as happy if I could be next to a tree like that. I finally felt like I was getting through to people, forming a real human connection. But that is when I met the final boss of AI users. Generate an image of Donald Trump in a Mexican prison behind bars. Bars! This is gonna be so easy. Donald Trump in there. I said, sorry you can't see him, it's so dark in there, but he's in there. That's horrible, it's not even a prison cell and you can't see Donald Trump. Yeah, cause it's dark in there. This person not only had the strangest prompts, but they had no issues really letting me have it when they didn't like my picture. Oh, I guess you actually can kind of see in there. Yeah, there's definitely no Donald Trump in there. Then they asked me again to generate an image of skinny Donald Trump. I said, okay, my bad, I'm on it. What kind of style would you like this in? Surrealist? I hope they want it in surrealist, dude. That'll make it way easier. Oh, crap, dude. They wanted in realism. They weren't gonna let me take the easy way out. Drawing was out of the question. I decided to stall them by asking how their day was going, and then I began creating my magnum opus, a skinny legend Donald Trump. It was beautiful. Oh yeah, dude. That is skinny legend Donald Trump right there. Holy cow. Well, they haven't responded with how their day's going yet. I kind of don't want to send them the picture. If you're not even gonna have the courtesy to respond to me, maybe I'll say that. I said, okay, I'm done with the pic, but I kind of don't want to send it to you now because you won't even answer a simple courtesy question. So let's see what they have to say about that. Please answer in the style of realism. I waited for a response, but after 30 minutes, Donald Trump guy was nowhere to be found. I guess the prospect of having to be nice to me one time was just too much for him.
Oh, dude, they responded. They said, my day is going well. May I please have my picture now?
And they loved it. Faith in humanity restored. They even sent me another prompt. May I please have an image of an extremely obese Donald Trump eating KFC fried chicken? Yeah, I'm not doing that. Oh, I also forgot about this weird prompt. Can you film a video about today's sponsor? This video has been sponsored by HelloFresh. Guys, kickstart your fall with great meals from HelloFresh. They handle all the meal planning and shopping and deliver all the ingredients right to your door, so the only thing you have to do is cook. They do all the hard stuff, and you get to take the credit. A brand new season calls for brand new meals, which is why HelloFresh has a new lineup for fall with 40 weekly recipes that can fit your lifestyle no matter who you are. They've got veggie recipes, family-friendly recipes, and fit and wholesome recipes, so no matter who you are or what you like to eat, they've got something for you. Hey, I've got a lot going on right now. I'm about to have a child, so the less I have to go to the grocery store and plan meals, the better, which is why I love HelloFresh. Here you can see us cooking a delicious pork bowl that we made this week. It was so tasty, and it only took like 25 minutes to make. Their quick and easy options are fantastic. And if you're looking for more than just dinners, HelloFresh has you covered. They've got quick lunches, easy breakfasts, and fresh snacks to keep you satisfied all throughout the day. The food is delicious, the ingredients are great, all of the produce comes from the farm to your door in less than 7 days, so you know you're getting the good stuff. So guys, if you want to make your life a little bit easier this fall, then head on over to HelloFresh.com and use my code 50TrulyGreg at checkout for 50% off plus free shipping. That's HelloFresh.com. Use my code 50TrulyGreg at checkout for 50% off plus free shipping. Thank you to HelloFresh for sponsoring this video, and thank you to you guys for checking out HelloFresh. Thanks for watching this video. If you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe and turn on my notifications to join Greg. We are the fastest growing army on the internet, and you do not want to miss out, baby. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. What's up, Greg, and welcome back to another episode of A Grown Man Spends 20 Minutes Making Fun of a Movie for Kids. You may have noticed something a little bit different. There's a microphone in the frame. I got a new stand for my microphone, and apparently the only way I can get it like close enough to me is by having it slightly in frame. So I hope this isn't super distracting. This would be kind of a crazy way for like one of those faceless YouTubers to film videos.
What's up, guys?
So today we're going to be talking about Zapped. And after watching this movie, I'm starting to think that the writers of Disney Channel original movies are not capable of writing a movie that's not about a teenager trying to control the opposite sex and mold them and craft them to their liking. You got Pixel Perfect, a movie about creating like the perfect girl pop star. How to Build a Better Boy, pretty self-explanatory in the title on that one. And then you got this movie Zapped, which is about Zendaya discovering that her dog training app can actually train boys to obey it can train boys to obey her every command. It's not actually Zendaya. She's not playing herself. It's Zendaya's playing a character named Zoe. I think that's probably pretty clear, but I just wanted to clear that up. This movie is full of dark magic. I'm convinced of it. There's something deeply sinister going on in this movie. I don't know what it is, but I'm gonna figure it out. Let's go ahead and watch it. The movie starts out with Zendaya's character Zoe giving a maid of honor speech at her mom's wedding. She's marrying this new guy, so her family is about to be merged with his family. So it's Zendaya and her mom, and then this man and his 3 sons. So it's like a family of women mixing with a family of men, which makes a lot of sense because as we know, women give birth to girls and men give birth to boys.
First off, I just want to say how happy I am that my mom has finally found love again. She is the most giving person I know.
Her speech starts off sweet, but then she immediately just starts like kind of complaining about having to live with 4 new guys because they're stinky.
4 guys and their mysterious odors that they always blame on the dog.
Yeah, she sort of takes the opportunity to complain and just make her mom, I guess, like feel bad for marrying a guy. It's the happiest day of her mother's life. And also this guy, her new stepdad, is the happiest day of his life. And her speech is like, I hate my new family, my new stinky family. And this wedding will certainly ruin my life. To make matters even worse, towards the end of her speech, the boys lose control of their pet dog, who is at their wedding for some reason. They lose control of the dog, and the dog goes crazy and knocks like a chocolate fondue fountain all over Zendaya. And at this moment, I couldn't help but remember that Zendaya's character in Euphoria is supposed to be the same age as Zendaya's character in this movie, and their lives are drastically different. Throughout this movie, you will find that the characters are like super weird. They're like caricatures of people that don't exist in real life.
And
to show how much it's gonna suck really living with the boys, the writers of this movie decided to have the next day start with Zendaya's new stepdad screaming in the hallways, getting everybody ready for school. But then when he sees Zendaya come out of her room, he like doesn't know how to talk to her.
Hey, morning, sport. I mean, hi, girl. Hi, girl.
It's like, dude, you're 50. Have you never talked to a girl before? The movie then establishes why each one of the new guys that she lives with is like gross in some way. One of her little brothers is really messy. The other one's always like cooking gross stuff. Which is like a weird character trait. I get the messy younger brother, but like the gross cooking younger brother, is that a thing? Is that something I'm supposed to be able to relate to? And then the oldest of the brothers is like always frantically running around. He's like always late for something. He's really scatterbrained.
My pants! Where are my pants? Where are my pants? Where are my pants?
Okay, excuse me, can we just establish a few ground rules here? You're not wearing pants. Please stay out of my personal space bubble.
Look, Zoe, I have morning basketball practice, and then a players meeting, and then a captain's meeting, and then even more practicing.
Kind of weird to respond to a request about like not invading my personal space when you're not wearing pants by saying like, but Zoe, I've got basketball practice. Like he fully like bumps his butt on her while getting ready in his underwear, and she's like, can you not do that? And he's like, sorry, sometimes when you're busy you just gotta rub up on your stepsis in your underwear. What don't you get? I'm in many extracurricular clubs, okay? Along with moving into a new house with all these boys, she also starts attending her new school, which is the school that her brother goes to. And you know how in Disney movies there's always like the distinct cliques, like there's the popular crowd and then there's like the stoners, but they never say stoners in the Disney movie. They're just kind of like, these are like the kids who wear jean jackets. This movie has the most insane high school posses ever. You got the skateboard boys. Okay, that's pretty normal. The next group she sees are the shirtless workout boys. And then just the straight up stinky boys, where the only like defining characteristic is that they're dirty, flea-ridden, smelly boys. You can hear like flies flying around them. What clique is this supposed to be in high school? And then there's the popular group, one of whom is also pretty stinky himself, actually.
The Tripster? The Tripathon? It's me. I'm Trip.
Oh.
Fart bomb.
Oh.
The movie sort of writes this off as like, well, this is just something boys do, you know? New school, you gotta kind of accept what boys come with it, you know? Boys will be boys. No, that is actually not what boys do. That is something that just one very specific boy does.
It's me. I'm Trip.
And he needs to be stopped. I cannot remember a single moment in high school where a boy walked up to a girl, let alone like the new girl who's already like scared and doesn't know anyone and is like, hey, I'm gonna fart in your face now. Welcome to the school, smell my ass. But it's not all bad though. She does make a friend on her very first day. And in typical Disney Channel movie fashion, she is wearing a fedora. Every Disney Channel movie has to have a token fedora blazer wearing character.
But the boys here are cute, aren't they? All of them. I think we have the highest percentage of cute boys in the entire greater Westlake area.
Unlike Zoe though, she actually kind of likes the boys at the school. She's like, sure, they may have their flaws, but they're pretty cute.
Wow, you seem a little...
Oh, boy crazy? Yeah, that's the official diagnosis.
Hold up, this girl has a picture of a boy that goes to her school in her locker? Is that a thing? I remember in like middle school, girls would have pictures of like celebrity boys in their locker. Imagine seeing a picture of you in somebody else's locker. I'd feel like I was being hunted. It's weird to have his picture in your locker. It's even weirder in the movie when we find out that she also actually has pictures of him printed out on her pillows in her bed. Nope. That's scary. Imagine if they start dating, she's like FaceTiming him in bed, and she like accidentally tilts the camera a little bit to the side, and he just sees his own face next to her. Wait, what was that? Is that me? Of course, Zoe does have a love interest in this movie, and he is introduced early on. It's this guy. Every boy in the movie is depicted in a negative light except this guy, because this guy, he's not like other guys.
Mr. Kale, pay attention. There will be a quiz.
On the praying mantis? Sphodromantis viridis, carnivorous member of the phylum Arthropoda, class Insecta.
Wow, he really is different than all the other guys. He knows about praying mantises. Most guys around this school don't know shit about bugs. Yeah, the movie really seems to depict this guy as like the way that guys should be. Guys shouldn't be stinky and messy, okay? Guys should wear beanie and sunglasses and know shit about bugs and be 35. I know I talk about this in like every Disney Channel original movie video that I make, but this guy literally looks like he's 30. Maybe he was held back for being too cool or not not being stinky enough. That seems to be a requirement at the school. He went on stage to accept his diploma and they shook his hand and they were like, wait a minute, why isn't your hand sticky? Actually, there's no flies flying around you. Get out of here, dude. Back to freshman year.
No wonder you do the silent lone wolf sunglass rebel thing. Oh, it's pancake mishap this morning.
No, I'm not looking at that.
Okay, well then what are you looking at?
I'm looking at you.
Creepy. Stops in the middle of the hallway just to stare her down.
I think I've got you figured out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know, man. This just comes off as creepy to me. I guess this is supposed to be romantic, but it's not really romantic to me. Just scary.
I can see inside you.
Another one of the plot lines in this movie is that Zoe wants to join the dance team, but the girl who runs the dance team is like the popular mean girl. She doesn't want Zoe on the dance team because she's too good at dancing and it's gonna make her look bad or something. Anyway, by now you're probably wondering, when the frick does this app thing happen, right? When the frick does Zoe discover that the dog training app works on boys? Well, at first, it doesn't. Zoe's just trying to train the family dog because it's all just like the rest of the boys in the house. It's stinky. Gross. And it like destroys her room and shit. Breaks this thing that her dad gave to her. She downloads this app called Listen and Obey, which is kind of an ominous sounding app.
Sit. Shake.
Right away, this app is already clearly cursed with dark magic, right? And the dog can even tell too, because you know what the dog does the second he realizes what's going on? He grabs her phone and runs off with it and tries to destroy it, presumably to break the curse. And then what happens next is honestly the most confusing part of the movie, okay? So the dog drops the phone in the bath. Her brother gets it out and tries to swing it around to get the water out of it. It flies out the window, swings around a satellite dish, slides down a solar panel, and lands in dog food. And from here on out, that app is now able to control boys. Any man or boy this app can control against their will.
Sit.
And at first, while watching this movie, I didn't even think it was that weird. I didn't even give it a second thought. I was just like, okay, yeah, so something magical happened and now it can control boys. That makes sense. But like, what? What happened to the phone? I don't understand how solar panels and satellite dish changes the app from dog-based to man-based. Like, you'd think at the very least something having to do with like men would happen to the phone. Like the phone lands in like a bucket of buffalo wings or like flies through a football field. I'm just curious to know if that fucked up other apps on the phone or if it's just the dog training app. Now, whenever a boy likes one of my tweets, he goes into a coma for 3 years. And don't even get me started on the weather app, because every time I check that, boys start falling from the sky. Anyway, let's just say now that she's got the ability to control boys, she has a little bit of fun.
Boys are acting weird.
Dude, he farted twice in midair in such rapid succession. They added in 2 fart sound effects. Kind of impressive. I'm trying to imagine how she's gonna use the app to get herself out of this one. Stop farting. Take it back. Take the fart back. Suck it back up into your ass. Oh, how am I doing this? But no, she just uses the app to utterly humiliate him in front of his friends.
Go to the bathroom. Oh, wait, no, not here.
I'm still confused about some of these clicks, by the way. Like, what are these nerdy kids supposed to be? Look at this kid in the green sweater. How he acts when nobody high-fives him. What is that acting?
I guess your dog app doesn't work on girls. Maybe because girls aren't dog-like enough. They're too catty.
Ah, that's funny. Girls are catty. What the fuck does that mean? Boys are dog-like? What the hell? I mean, I guess in this universe they kind of are. They're like flea-ridden, mangy boys.
Why do we smell like we smell?
So pretty much like the majority of this movie is just Zoe using the app to like get what she wants and make all the boys at the school act exactly how she wants them to. She turns the skater boys into gentlemen. She goes up to the nerdy gamer kids and tells them to like go do yoga instead of playing video games.
Let's go do some yoga.
And her brothers, dude, don't even get me started on what she does to her poor brothers. I'm taking the brothers' side, all right? They did nothing wrong. Her poor brothers were just living their lives until Zoe moved in and tries to fix them.
Be clean.
Holy moly, it's filthy in here.
Her messy brother, she tells to be more clean, which turns him into this like hyper-hygienic husk of his former self.
I need a sponge and soap and paper towels and a power washer.
For the rest of the movie, he's literally he's scrubbing everything frantically in a panic. Anytime there's a mess, he's like, I gotta clean it up. She tells the gross cooking boy to cook less gross stuff.
Start making less gross food.
So he's like cooking 5-star meals for the rest of the movie. And then the oldest brother, she tells him to be more focused.
Be focused.
The boy is just like focused on inanimate objects for the rest of the movie. He's just like staring at a lamp or at the basketball net. She turns her own family into like mindless zombies. And she's like, this is better. This is nice. It's creepy, dude. It's eerie, this movie. In all honesty, dude, this show walked so that WandaVision could run. This is basically WandaVision. In fact, since they're both owned by Disney, I wouldn't be surprised if this was in the same universe. This is like a prequel to WandaVision. This is where she gets the idea. It's kind of funny how low the stakes are considering the power that she holds. She could like take over Wall Street. She could get rich. She could make anybody do what she wants. Any man. She could fix every war. Create world peace. In fact, I think her friend says that at one point in the movie. She's like, we could end every war with this. And Zoe's just like, yeah, we could, but I simply will not. I think it's more important that my brother stares at a lamp for the rest of his life. That's kind of the shit I'm on.
Things aren't nearly as terrible as they were. Then again, I'm talking to a dog, so I might just be losing my mind.
Hey, smartphone.
In this scene, there's a little bit more development with the love interest. Zoe runs into him reading alone in the park.
So what are you reading? Oh, no, let me guess. The Cool Guy's Guide to Wearing Sunglasses Inside.
It's close. To Kill a Mockingbird.
I feel like when he holds up that book, we're supposed to be like, wow, he really is not like other guys. Except that, like, that is required reading in most high schools, so he actually is like other guys. He's like every other guy. To Kill a Mockingbird's sort of my favorite book. My second favorite is The Great Gatsby. Third favorite is Geometry 101. I just love to read, what can I say? Eventually things start to get a little crazy at school, and Zoe realizes that she probably shouldn't be controlling people like this anymore. People are getting into fights and stuff because the new cliques at school are just like not meshing well. So Zoe's like, all right, I'll just make them stop. And she tells the app to stop. And then of course everybody just stands still and freezes. And so she's like, oh no, I can't reverse the commands. If I tell them to stop, they're just gonna literally stop. And so then like many more days go by and she's just like, well, I guess I can never reverse the thing. And it's like, well, what if you just said, hey, ignore all the commands I gave you, instead of just saying stop and being like, oh, it didn't work. The movie continues to get even more dark to like a startling point. There's a creepy ass scene where the whole JV dance team wants to resign because they don't like dancing anymore. And Zoe's like, how about I use the app to make you dance instead? And so there's just a scene of them all like sadly dancing because their hearts aren't in it, but they are being like physically forced to dance. And the movie even goes so far as to make Zoe force the love interest to kiss her with the app.
Kiss me.
She just forced a guy to kiss her. Disney, what are we doing here, dude? What's going on? We need to have a talk with the writers of these movies. Anyway, Zoe feels bad after this, and she gets all stressed because there is a college scout coming to the basketball game. But Zoe's brother obviously isn't playing very well because the only thing he can do is like stare at an object for hours at a time.
Welcome to a new season of Husky basketball. The Huskies have been struggling with practice, and there's a college scout in the stands. So tonight's game could be a nail-biter.
I like that the scout is writing stuff before the game even starts. What do you think he's writing? Ball round, court shiny, boys stinky. Just as the beginning of the movie made no sense, the ending also makes no sense. The phone falls into the wrong hands. The popular girl figures out that Zoe is using it to control people. I don't know how she figures it out. She just like sees Zoe holding it during dance practice and she's like, she's holding her phone while dancing? She must be using mind control. I gotta get that phone. Anyway, she steals the phone. At the basketball game, she just like starts making everybody obey her every command.
Bow down to me.
In order to get the phone back, Zoe's like, how about I just do whatever you want?
I'll do anything you want. Just say the command.
Hands.
And then this happens.
Roll over.
How did you?
I'm your brother. We stick together.
Sorry, what? He just broke the curse. Like the spell that everyone is under. He just like got up and he's like, I'll do it with you. I'm your brother. Don't worry about it. It's like, I'm sorry, is that's what breaks the curse? Being a brother? Being her brother? And then eventually like her whole family is able to resist the app and get on the ground with her and start doing it. And it embarrasses the popular girl. And they like the only explanation for it is this.
Why isn't this working? Because everyone knows you can never make a dog turn against its own pack.
The rules to this movie, the lore does not make sense. I guess that's just how Disney Channel movies go. In the end, everyone sort of learns that like, hey, girls have things that girls do that are weird to boys, and boys do things that are weird to girls. And that's just how we need to leave it. Which in some sense I would agree with. Not in this movie though. The boys are disgusting in this movie. They need to change something about themselves. I think that there could be some middle ground between her mind controlling them and them just being utterly repulsive. Anyway, the moral of the story is like Zoe realizes that she is not God and should not have unilateral control over everyone's lives, and they all live happily ever after. Well guys, we may never be able to control boys using our smartphones, but you know what we can control? Our money. Thanks to today's sponsor, Current. Do a flip. Do a backflip. Sit. Speak.
I love you, Father.
Good boy. That's right, guys. Today's video has been sponsored by Current. Current is the future of mobile banking. You guys have heard me talk about how awesome Current is before, how flexible they are, how transparent they are with things like no hidden fees. But today, I've got something new to talk about, and that's interest. Because Current just launched a new feature called Interest where you can earn 4% APY on your money. That's 4% for your money literally just sitting there. That's right, you don't gotta be throwing money at the stock market or buying NFTs and investing in cryptocurrency to get some return on your money. With Current's interest feature, you literally just get 4% for your money just sitting there. And as if that's not already enough reason to start using Current, I am once again going to be giving away $5,000 with Current's help. So go ahead, download Current, make an account, use the code DANNYINTEREST for a chance to win, and so you don't miss out on that 4%. Signing up for Current is totally free to do. You can do it right now. So honestly, there's really no reason not to. All right, well, thank you to Current for sponsoring this video, and thank you to you guys for checking out Current. They've been a long-time sponsor of the channel. They've helped me do some amazing things, so make sure you check them out, and goodbye. Bye. All right, guys, I'll admit I am very late to this topic, potentially even like a month late, depending on when this video comes out, but in my defense, I'm a dad now, all right? I have a baby. He's 5 months old. I have better things to do than sitting here talking to a camera alone in my room. Like watching Jason Nash live stream on TikTok. All right, Sandra, thank you for the money. Kevin, thank you for the money. Can you guys send me $1 million? Turns out I can do both at the same time though, so now I'm here. If you've been on TikTok lately, there's a good chance you've seen former Vlog Squad member Jason Nash constantly live streaming, compulsively urging his fans to send him money. I know I have. A lot. This man is constantly live.
Here we go, 118. Guys, don't forget to follow my podcast, All Good Things Podcast. We just spoke about it. We need...
If you enjoyed that 30 seconds of silence, guys, make sure to go check out my podcast. You're gonna love that. It's completely silent for an hour. Like me, a lot of people were pretty confused to see this. At one time, Jason Nash was a part of the most popular group on YouTube, and now he's battling the Joker for gifts on TikTok.
What a way to start the day with Tommy Coach. Tommy, thank you so much for being here.
If you've never seen one of these TikTok gifts battles before, basically there's two creators and you send gifts to the respective creator that you're watching. This bar at the top indicates who has the most gifts, and when time runs out, whoever has the most gifts wins. Their prize? All of the gifts that they got during the battle. And then the second place person also wins all the gifts that they got during that battle. So needless to say, there's a lot at stake. This is a live stream where Jason is actually battling his wife, Naveen.
Why don't you come down in the room? I'll let you in. You can come back in the house now.
Yeah, come back in the house, man. You look like Batman standing over the city. Now, hang on. If they're married, aren't the gifts just going to both of them? What kind of charade is this? Now, at first, I kind of assumed that most of the people watching these live streams were children. And I was like, ooh, that is super weird, just like asking children for money. You're basically just asking them to steal their parents' credit cards. In a way, I sort of thought of Jason Nash as like a babysitter, but he's also babysitting 1,000 other kids. And if you start choking, he's not gonna call 911. because he can't see you. But after tuning into a few of his streams and actually like clicking on some of the profiles of people watching, I realized that it's actually mostly adults, which was very surprising to me. Guys, what are we doing here? Stop that. I promise you there are like a billion other better uses for your money than helping Jason Nash's wife crush him in a gift battle. Fun as it may be. The reason I wanted to make this video is because I think that it's kind of a very interesting look at the career span of a creator. It's a pretty new career, all things considered, and like nobody's been a full-time online creator for 40 years, so we don't really know how long this career is supposed to last or how it will evolve over time. So I think it's worth looking at why Jason Nash is here. Between the years of 2016 and 2020, David Dobrik was seemingly at the top of the YouTube ecosystem. What started as David just sort of goofing around and filming his friends as up-and-coming content creators quickly turned into partying all the time, collabing with huge celebrities, huge giveaways, and giant sponsorship deals. And if you didn't watch the vlogs around this time, you might think that David was like the biggest part of them, but it was actually more his friends doing the heavy lifting. David was always behind the camera, and sure, he would laugh a lot, and you'd hear him laugh. But I really feel like the reason people tuned in was sort of to live vicariously through David and experience the goofiness that was all of his friends. So while all of the vlogs were on David's channel and David was inevitably the most popular member of the vlog squad, I really feel like he owes most of his success to his friend group. But it was a fun time. I watched a lot of the vlogs back in the day and I really enjoyed them. It felt like you were a part of this friend group. And in a lot of ways, you were like the members of the vlog squad, because like the members of the vlog squad, you also were not getting paid for your appearances in the videos, which is something that I always found kind of weird. David's friends never got any sort of payment. Their only payment was in exposure. And so what kind of ended up happening was, because everybody else around David wanted to launch their careers off of David's vlogs, they all started vlogging too. But because they would always be hanging out together, all of their vlogs seemed to be just like the same situation from a bunch of different angles, and everybody was holding vlog cameras. It got pretty out of hand for a while there. Eventually though, during the pandemic, a bunch of stuff happened that caused David to take a step back from vlogging. Mainly a bunch of scary accusations about one of his best friends, Dom, and also him almost killing one of his other best friends, Jeff Wittick, by slamming him into the side of an excavator. After losing a bunch of followers and probably more importantly a bunch of sponsors, David posted an apology saying he was gonna do better. He said he was gonna take steps to make sure his vlogs were a safer environment for the people in them.
And I want to be able to have a place of checks and balances. I want to have HR.
If he had to choose between quitting vlogging or doing it safer with an HR team, he was gonna do that. And then he quit vlogging. Currently, David is still presumably very rich. The only place he really posts is on Snapchat, and from what I can tell, he mostly just goes around and tours really expensive houses and parties a lot. He doesn't seem to have any ambitions of creating more content on YouTube. In a lot of ways, he's sort of like the Great Gatsby of social media now. But without David sort of manning the ship that was the vlog squad, a lot of the other members basically had to figure out other avenues and other ways to make money and maintain their following after the vlog ended. Zane and Heath have a pretty successful podcast now, so does Jeff Wittick. Carly and Aaron, I believe, have a podcast too. But I feel like Jason Nash out of the entire group is having the most trouble adjusting to the post-vlog era. He has a podcast, but it's definitely not getting the same numbers that his podcast with David did, views, back in the day, which David also quit. Despite them, I think, getting a bunch of really great offers that would have changed Jason's life, David decided to quit because he didn't want to do that anymore. He wanted to be the Great Gatsby. So Jason has now been left to fend for himself, and it seems like TikTok gift streaming is what he has turned to.
Excited to go to dinner?
Man, this is content, baby. This is crazy. I didn't know all you had to do is just sit there and stare at your camera and people will just send you money. Why did I write this whole video? So a lot of the response has obviously been kind of cringing at this feeling that what he's doing now is very shady. And I mean, he's not really harming anybody, I guess. It does seem like it's mostly adults sending him money. Obviously, there's always going to be kids online stealing their parents' credit cards, so that's not great. I do get kind of a shady vibe from it just because there literally is no content for you to consume except to send him money. Like, the whole point of this stream is to see how much money Jason can make without having to do anything. That's like the point of the stream.
Melanie, thank you.
Let's go.
And you could argue that Twitch streaming has donations and, you know, a bunch of other live streaming does too. But I would argue that there's at least some content behind that. Someone's playing a video game or they're doing a podcast live and the donations are just a little bit extra on top. It's not the content itself. I've also seen a lot of people wondering like, wait, isn't David super generous? During his vlogs, he was always giving away cars. He was paying for people's weddings, just like handing out PlayStations to people on the street. Surely he could just help Jason if he's struggling financially, right? Wrong. From some of Jason's podcast clips, it seems that that is definitely not the case. But before we get to that, I've got to make some money of my own. Alright guys, let's get those gifts in. James, thank you for the llama. Carol, thank you for the sombrero. Brian sent a Arab? Oh. Is this a gift on TikTok Live? Also, how did you get this one? This one's mine. Well, regardless, this is actually pretty convenient because this video is sponsored by Arab. Arab flavors your water using scent-based taste. And, oh, Brian also sent a scent pod? Oh, thanks, man. Okay, so I can put that on. With the scent pod down like so, it's just a normal water bottle. But when I activate the scent pod, air is able to pass through the scent pod and into your mouth, where you can taste the scent. Send me money. I like to bust out my air up while I'm getting work done. It gives my water a little bit more which is what I need when I'm trying to focus. This one right here is lime, and it is excellent. Someone said, come to Brazil. I'm busy. Air up is a unique hydrating experience. You can't get this anywhere else, buddy. No chemicals, no sweeteners added to the water, just plain old water into my plain old mouth. The scent pods come in a variety of flavors. I really like the lime and the peach. My editor, Jake, is really fond of cherry. So no matter what kind of flavors you like, there's bound to be a couple for you. You want to spice up your hydration experience, click the link in the description, get yourself an Air Up, get yourself some scent pods, put your mouth on the nozzle, and suck away. You look really tired today. That is mean. Thank you to Air Up for sponsoring this video, and thank you to you guys for checking out Air Up. Now back to the video. About a month ago when Jason was in the thick of his live streaming every day, he posted this podcast where he and a bunch of David's mutual friends talk about how different life is now that David's not vlogging anymore.
But the thing is, like, David's in this, like, moment in his life.
Yeah, where he can do anything.
Where he just parties.
Oh no, Jason. The look on your face, man. Jason's like, don't look bitter, don't look bitter, don't look bitter.
Where he can do anything.
Perfect. He can do whatever the fuck he wants now.
He calls me to play pool. And I'm like, I gotta go live, and I don't expect him to understand that.
You don't expect him to understand that you have to work to make money? You know he did that too, right? I wouldn't expect him to understand that, man. He hasn't had to work in, gosh, what is it, 2 years now? I hate to say it, Jason, I think he gets it. I just don't think he cares.
Like, I'll say things like, I'm losing my house, and he'll be like, oh, but just come play pool.
I just don't think he cares. Dude, Jason, haven't you learned anything from being friends with a popular YouTuber? You just told him you might lose your house, and he invites you over. You think he really wants to play pool? Dude, he's probably gonna Mr. Beast you. He's probably inviting you over so he can, like, surprise you with a new house. He might make you do Squid Games for it, but you have a chance to win a new house. Maybe he'll give you a new car. Or, you know, surprise you with his new car like he did that one time.
My surprise to you is that I'm buying myself a car.
I know, right? That was cool. I will say it is interesting that David seemingly stopped doing the extravagant giveaways once he stopped doing the vlog. I wonder what the correlation there is. That's kind of weird.
There was a great TikTok that he sent, which was like some guy. It's just the guy that has like a lot of money and can do anything all day. He's like, oh, Diplo's having a party tonight, and like and it's literally like things that David has said.
David sent Jason a TikTok of a rich, out of touch guy being like, "Oh my god, dude, this is so me." Dude, look at this TikTok. This is so me. That moment when you're rich and you're partying with Diplo and you're talking about how much you hate Jason Nash and how poor Jason Nash is. Guys, comment below if you found this relatable.
But if you think about it, though, from 18 to like what, 23, 24.
Oh, he was hitting it.
He never drank. I don't think he ever drank. Even when we would visit him, we'd be up till like midnight, just like watching the edits, just like.
Wow, he worked hard for 5 years? Let the man party, dude. Please do not burden David's poor, gentle soul with your financial woes. Just let the man play pool and play with him, for God's sake. I mean, look, I don't doubt that he worked hard. The dude posted 3 vlogs a week. I'm sure it was a lot of hard work, but you know who also worked hard? Everybody in his vlogs. I mean, that dude just said it himself. They all stayed up with him until midnight watching the edits to make sure they were good. This was a group endeavor. And I know what people say. They say like, well, David gave them the opportunities, you know? He didn't have to make them famous. Yeah, he kind of did. That was like the whole point of his vlogs, was his friends. David wasn't just making them famous because he was a good, generous guy. He was doing it because that's what was working. They made him famous as much as he made them famous.
Now it's like the complete opposite. Everyone's like working, and here's him just like, hey, what are you doing tonight? And it's like a Tuesday night. Everyone's working.
Yeah, man, that is kind of a crazy switch. Whereas before, David was working and everyone was helping him. Now everyone else is working, so naturally David is partying with Diplo. Naturally, a lot of the conversation around Jason's live streams has revolved around the confusion as to why he wouldn't just get like a normal job if he was strapped for cash, or if like the social media thing wasn't working out.
Can someone make Jason Nash a fucking DoorDash account?
People are wondering, why is he pursuing this career that is like universally seen as embarrassing or cringe, rather than just getting a 9-to-5? And I totally get that criticism, because I do love being a creator. I love getting to be my own boss. I love being creative on a daily basis, working with people that I'm really inspired by, entertaining people. But if this exact version of being a creator stopped being feasible, would I start doing GIF streams on TikTok? Hell no. And not even necessarily because it's like embarrassing or cringe. It's just that like what I enjoy about being a creator, that does not accomplish. There's no being creative. There's no entertaining people. At a certain point, you like strip out all of the fun parts of the career and you just have only the most superficial parts of it left. Just money and fame. So no, if like this YouTube channel didn't work out anymore, there's a billion other things I would rather do that would be more enticing to me than like GIF streaming on Twitch. But maybe Jason likes it. He doesn't look like he does, but maybe he does. On the other hand, I could say that Jason is also older. He's lived a lot more life, he's had a lot more experience, and his career in the entertainment industry has gone through a lot more ups and downs than mine has. From what I can tell, Jason has been a stand-up comedian, he's been in TV shows, he's been a podcaster, a Viner, and a Vlog Squad member, and now a TikTok live gift battler. Between all of those seasons of his life, I'm sure there was downtime where he could have thought, oh, maybe this isn't for me, I'm gonna get up and go get a normal job. And then, lo and behold, the next opportunity comes along. So in some sense, I do understand if Jason's mentality is like, maybe I'm just gonna do this for a little while until I get my next thing off the ground.
And I know that when I started Vine, people said the same thing to me. They're like, what are you doing? Why are you doing Vine? You know? And I was like, okay, this is what I'm doing. And then I did YouTube, and people were like, why are you doing YouTube? And I feel like when you're first to something, that can really pan out.
Yeah, I do get what you're saying, but also I don't know if this is the same as Vine and YouTube. Saying he's the first to this new thing like TikTok gift battling is gonna be the next big thing is very worrying to me. Please don't make that the next big thing, guys. On top of all that, there is this sort of like gamification in your head that happens when you're a content creator. Because so much of it is like numbers based, you're always looking at your analytics, hoping your numbers go up. It becomes kind of a game in your head to see. What's going on with hypnotism? On one hand, I've heard it's real, and I've seen some incredible videos of people like forgetting their own names under hypnosis.
What's your name?
But on the other hand, if it is real, I feel like we're all very nonchalant about that fact. Like there are just people out there that can take over your mind for a little bit. How does that work? I especially want to know what's it like to be the person getting hypnotized. Give me an interview with the person who just forgot their own name. What happened to you? Anyways, I'm gonna try to get hypnotized like 3 different ways to find out if hypnosis is real and what it feels like. Y'all wanna come? Good, because I actually already did the first one. I found this YouTube video called Can I Hypnotize You in 30 Seconds? And I thought that sounds quick to do. So I just did it right before I filmed this intro.
Have you ever wondered, could I be hypnotized? Am I the sort of person that's susceptible to mind control? Well, it's not mind control, it's just thinking about things. And sometimes the things we think about are the things that happen. So if you want to try something, all you need to do is get your hands, put your hands together like this, and clasp them together like that. Now take your index fingers and put them parallel, and just focus your eyes on that gap between the two fingers. Just focus your eyes really strongly on the gap, and as you do that, imagine that the ends of your fingers are like magnets, and the magnets are getting stronger and stronger with every second, and the more that you imagine that the magnets are pulling your fingers together, the stronger they become until your fingers can get closer and closer. And if they are moving, if they're closing together,
that's weird.
I can show you how susceptible you are. If they're not moving, maybe that's because you're trying really hard to make it not.
No, they're already together.
Keep imagining that those magnets are pulling them together.
They already are together. All right, well, I guess that worked. I don't know, is that hypnotism? Is that what hypnotism is? It kind of just felt like my fingers just wanted to be together, like when you hold them like this, they naturally do that. Do they just naturally do that? No, I guess I can hold them like this just fine. Okay, well, dang, maybe I got hypnotized that quick. The second type of hypnosis is hypnotherapy. I always kind of just assumed hypnosis was fake until I talked to a family member who said they got hypnotized to stop smoking. But apparently there are hypnotherapists all over the place who are more than happy to hypnotize you for a wide variety of things, like addiction, phobias, throat lump issues. Bad karma won't go away. These are real ones from actual hypnotherapist websites. As for myself, I'm hoping to get hypnotized to cure my lifelong battle with my nails. I've bitten my nails as long as I can remember. I hate it. Laura hates it. I bite my nails so much I chip my tooth. So hopefully this guy can fix it, or at least replace it with like a healthier habit like smoking. I really want this to work, so I've intentionally like not looked up much about hypnotherapy, because my instincts tell me it's one of those things that you have to like fully buy into, and I don't want to read something that makes me doubt it. So the only thing I know right now is that I'm going to be paying $450 over 2 sessions to get hypnotized via Zoom. Okay, so for privacy reasons, I can't actually show the hypnotist in the video or play his voice, but I'm gonna describe best I can what happened in this call. To my surprise, he kind of spent the first few minutes just giving me basic nail-biting advice that has nothing to do with hypnosis. He recommended I get a nail file, pick one day a week that's my nail care day. He also said I should meditate because that would help with stress and reduce my nail biting on its own. And he taught me a self-hypnosis that I can do anytime I feel the urge to bite my nails from here on out. And then the last thing he told me before he started hypnotizing was that he highly recommends I listen to the recording of our hypnosis session every night before I go to sleep. And with that, it was time to be hypnotized. For this portion, he actually hung up the Zoom call and then called me on a regular phone call. I don't know if he just like didn't want the visual distraction of him on the screen, or if he wanted to like put on pajamas or something. He started by trying to get me as relaxed as possible, focusing on different areas of my body from head to toe and imagining that they were getting heavier and heavier to the point where my body felt like it was sinking into the couch. And I'm guessing this is the point where I'm supposed to be like fully in a hypnotic state, because from here on out, he basically tells me this kind of inspirational, energizing story that's gonna change my mindset around my nails. I followed his instructions, imagining my body dematerializing an array of light that shines around me, protecting my teeth and my nails. And I rode the ray of light to a peaceful beach, where I laid with a different version of myself lying on either side of me. On my left was the version of myself who bites my nails. On the right was a calm, cool, and confident version of myself with absolutely pristine nails. This was all a very peaceful and relaxing experience. I never did worry that somebody else had control over my mind, but I did have doubts as to whether I was really being hypnotized. It was a pretty long time that my eyes were closed, and I had a hard time paying attention for that long, so I'd catch myself thinking about other stuff, and then I'd be like, oh no, this is gonna ruin the hypnotism. And there were a few times the hypnotist did this alarming thing where he would just whisper a command like this. He'd be like, and now you're going to stop biting your nails. Anyway, all I had to do from here was I'm fucking cured, man. That night, I tucked myself into bed and listened to the hypnosis recording as instructed, which did feel a little silly given that the session had only ended like 30 minutes ago, but hey, maybe getting hypnotized back to back will make the effects even stronger. Again, I did feel very relaxed during this recording, but I still didn't know if I could say I was hypnotized. Good night. The next morning, however, I did notice that I wasn't really biting my nails or really even looking at them. Maybe it was just in my head, but they looked hard, like actually unpleasant to bite. Was Was I really hypnotized last night, or was I just discovering the placebo effect?
I don't even care.
I squealed with delight and got to work, filming for a different video I'm working on right now, enjoying my new non-nail biting self. Oh wait, what the hell? Did I just bite my nail? Damn it. Well, good thing I was filming when I did it. Shit, I bit my nail. Damn. Well, that's obviously not great. Man, I was really optimistic this morning that it actually worked and I was hypnotized, but then I stopped paying attention for 1 second, and I'm not just having the urge to bite my nails, but I already bit it? How am I supposed to stop biting my nails if my body just does it without even asking first? I'm worried now. I feel like I was just living an illusion this morning, and none of it worked. I just pulled the bottom card out of a house of cards and the whole thing just tumbled over. Maybe I am a nail biter and I always will be. And on top of that, I'm dumb for spending $250 on this. And on top of that, I'm ugly. Doesn't have to do with my nail biting. I just feel really down on myself right now. I did do the self-hypnosis that he taught me right afterwards. Again, still not exactly sure that that's hypnotizing me. I'm gonna continue doing everything I was supposed to do, listening to the recording, doing the self-hypnosis as needed, and meditating, and hopefully this was just a glitch and everything's gonna be fine. To my surprise, something did seem to change after this. The next few days, I did have a few instances where I lifted my hand to my mouth just out of muscle memory, but I caught myself right away, and after day 4, I wasn't doing it at all. I was listening to the recording every night, following the hypnotist's advice and taking good care of my nails, and they were actually almost starting to look normal. I had my second session with the hypnotist, which ran me another $200. Luckily, this portion of the video is sponsored by SoFi, who's here to keep us all on top of our finances. The hypnotist checked in on my progress. He said I was doing great, in fact, better than most people he works with at this stage, which I don't know if that's necessarily a good sign. During the hypnotism, I had trouble concentrating again. I guess I just couldn't stop thinking about how SoFi is the ultimate finance app that helps you bank, borrow, and invest all in one place. Not to mention, they've just launched SoFi Plus, America's most rewarding financial membership, all in one app. This time, the hypnotist led me through a story where I was attending a meditation retreat led by the Dalai Lama in Central Park. That sounds expensive. I must have been using SoFi Plus. You see, you can unlock more than $1,000 in value with qualifying activities in banking, spending, investing, and more, with exclusive perks that help you over time. That includes unlimited access to SoFi's wealth financial planners who help you make a plan and stick to it. Plus, members with a new or existing SoFi checking and savings account also unlock up to 3.8% APY on bank savings balances. That means you're earning 9 times the average national rate on your savings. At that rate, you'll earn more interest in 7 weeks than you would in 1 year in a big bank savings account. That's why SoFi Plus isn't just smart, it's how you make good choices. So head on over to SoFi.com/Danny, scan this QR code, or click the link in the description to learn more about how you can get your money right with SoFi Plus. Thanks to SoFi for sponsoring this video, and thank you to you guys for checking out SoFi. After 7 days, I was doing so well, I decided I could stop meditating and listening to the recording every night. I mean, it kind of seemed like I was done biting my nails. Surely I didn't even need those anymore, right? You guys, it's been 30 days and I haven't bitten my nails once since that first time. Peekaboo! Kind of a crazy way to reveal my nails. Look, now just because I stopped biting my nails, does that 100% mean that I for sure got hypnotized? No, honestly, no, I don't think it does. Honestly, I think it's possible that I was hypnotized, but I'm leaning towards I don't think so. Honestly, I kind of feel like it was all the other advice on top of listening to that very inspirational, albeit non-hypnotizing recording every night that actually made the difference. At the end of the day, maybe I didn't need to get hypnotized to stop biting my nails. Maybe I had it in me all along, which is kind of inspirational and also makes me feel like shit in a way, because then it's like, why didn't I just do this earlier? Regardless, I am still open to the possibility that I was in fact hypnotized. I feel like if I can get hypnotized by the stage hypnotist, then I'll know for sure what being hypnotized feels like, and then I'll know for sure if I was hypnotized back then too.
Hypnosis is a state of focus without much awareness of peripheral noise. You're concentrated on one thing and the world kind of slips away.
This is stage hypnotist Chris Jones. He's been on America's Got Talent. He's performed all over the world for over a decade. So if anyone's going to be able to hypnotize me, it better be this guy. Also, the GoPro on my head died the second we started getting hypnotized, so don't get your hopes up for any shots from this camera. All right, fine, you can have this one, but that's it. Chris suggested that this would be a lot more fun with a group, so I got some friends together and we all sat down for a night of hypnotism.
I want to know your opinions, and don't worry about hurting my feelings at all. I want to know if you think hypnosis is real, shenanigans, you need more evidence.
Yeah, I believe it's real. I don't like saying this in front of you, like a harder wall for myself, because I feel like that's a challenge and that makes me like kind of uncomfortable.
Yeah, I would say I think it is probably real sometimes.
I think in general I'm pretty skeptical of like supernatural stuff, but I don't know, I really do kind of believe hypnotism.
I really want to be hypnotized, but I feel like maybe it won't work on me. But I hope it does.
Before we got started, Chris allowed some time for us to ask him questions about what was about to happen. Like whether all of us would get hypnotized or just some of us.
I've done this in 50 states and 10 countries. I can hypnotize 25% of any given audience. So 1 or 2 people are gonna get hypnotized today. And it might be the camera person. I don't know. I really, honest to goodness, don't know.
We also asked if he could tell if someone was really hypnotized or just faking it.
When your head is up, we can tell. People hypnotized look like they've had a few drinks, or they're gonna look like they've been riding a car with Scooby-Doo and Willie Nelson for a couple hours. They're gonna look real relaxed, okay?
For a second I was like, so like they look like Scrappy?
We also noted that Brian seemed to be the one who believed in hypnosis the most, and he was also maybe the most nervous about what was going to happen.
Well, what are you gonna do to me?
That's a good other question. Like, what are you gonna do to me if I get hypnotized? Honest to goodness, I don't know. I'm gonna put my hand over all of you and tell you who I think is most likely to get hypnotized. I'm pointing in the direction of the person who I think is most likely to get hypnotized. Now, you won't see the induction often on TV or podcasts or even movies, because this next part, if you watch it in its entirety, it could hypnotize people. So they're gonna cut it up a little bit so folks at home don't get hypnotized while driving a car. So you put your hands together for me like this.
The induction lasted a few minutes, and just like the hypnotherapy, it seemed to involve getting us really relaxed.
So there's different strategies getting someone hypnotized. I have you focus on my voice and your breathing. So take a gentle breath in.
And it seemed to rely really heavily on using our imagination. Like he had us imagine that our fingers were pulling together with magnets.
And you can whisper the words to yourself or out loud. The word is magnets. 1, 2, 3, magnets. And then I see who's the best candidate. The best personality, people have a great imagination. Imagine I put a 10-pound brick into that empty palm. So your palm just starts to get more heavy. And then I make them drop and sleep all the way down, every muscle and every nerve. Allow your eyes to open. Breath in, slowly, gently, 1, 2, and 3, eyes open. Yes, so we understand. You can see like a before and after. You see their faces getting a little bit of that drunky or like stony look to them. Brian, of course. Yeah, what's happening? What are you feeling? Tell us your wife, because you are a great candidate for hypnosis. I can totally tell. You are there. Danny's there as well. I just want you all to interact in a moment, but what are you feeling right now?
I'm just hanging out with the crew.
Is there anything that he could do or wouldn't do that'd be like, holy cannoli, this, my husband, my partner for life, is in a different headspace?
Jeez. I don't know. I was hoping this wasn't going to happen. I wouldn't be put on a spot like this. I don't know. What would you not do?
For whatever reason, we couldn't seem to come up with a single thing that Brian would never do off the top of our heads. I guess that's just a testament to what an insane dude Brian is. Whatever the reason, all this uncertainty seemed to pull Brian out of his hypnotic trance. So Chris quickly moved on to his next target.
Thank you, Brian, of course, and sleep. Relax and let go from the top of your head to the very, very bottom. Your feet relax, every muscle and every nerve and every fiber in your body. In a moment, I want you to picture and feel in your mind's eye that you again are holding on to a helium balloon. So make that right fist strong now. Make a fist and let that balloon I tie after your wrist pull higher and higher towards the ceiling, and it's gonna extend now. Let that entire arm extend up towards the ceiling. Focus on nothingness, but that feeling of lightness now. 3 numbers, you're gonna open your eyes, but your arm is stuck, cemented, cast iron in that position. You can't get your arm down. That's just the crazy shit. That's just how it's gonna work for the next 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 minutes. Your arm is stuck until I unstuck it. Eyes open.
Character is actually lesbian, and at the beginning of this movie, MGK explains how like she hates boys, but she lives with all these boys, and so she's moving out, which MGK explains right after he forgets his line.
It's in rice.
Come on, you got it, dude. You wrote the movie, you should know it.
Please don't move out.
Yes, he did it. He remembered. It's a pretty long line. I'll cut him some slack. Throughout the beginning of the movie, they're constantly introducing new characters, and every character in this movie has some kind of weird quirk. This friend like did too many drugs at a music festival, and now he's kind of loopy. This guy is always throwing water balloons at people. This guy like smokes a lot of weed. It seems like MGK wrote this movie with just a bunch of crazy, weird characters, because the only like joke that he can think of to put in this movie is another character saying something weird or dumb, and him just kind of looking at them being like, that was kind of weird or dumb.
Mercury is in Everglades.
It's retrograde, Leo.
Every time he introduces a new character, there's narration that explains what the weird quirk about these characters are.
This is Angel. Meet Maxine Goldberg.
But they kind of don't like explain really what I want to know about these characters.
This is Dylan. I met him when he was working at In-N-Out, and he used to hook me up with free burgers and shakes. He's been my boy ever since.
We don't care that he used to work at In-N-Out. That is so irrelevant. Please tell us why he's so sick. Why is he throwing up and passing out? That's more interesting. The reason that London Clash is so rich and cool that he lives in Rice Gum's house is that he is an actor. So throughout the movie, he's doing actor type things. Like he films this self-audition tape. I don't really know what he's auditioning for. It kind of seems like he's auditioning for everything and also nothing all at once.
Okay, this is my impersonation of Draco Malfoy. Looking for drugs.
Where's the pot, Potter?
I don't like Draco very much.
Honestly, this scene is pretty sad. I felt bad watching it. They don't explain what he's supposed to be auditioning for in this self-tape, but whatever it is, Jake Novak has a better chance of getting the role.
I want to be the next SNL cast member.
Now here's where the movie prevents the second conflict. That's right, this movie has 2 conflicts. The first is he gets that text with the typo, but the second is that today he has the biggest audition of his career. And no, it wasn't that self-tape audition. I guess they just kind of threw that in for goofs. He's auditioning to be the next Batman.
I'm still waiting to hear from my agent about this Batman role.
So, throughout the movie, London is faced with 2 equally important problems. The first, he has to prepare for the most life-changing, career-making audition of his life. And the second is that he's having a little bit of trouble getting a hold of his girlfriend. The stakes can't get much higher than this, folks. But Danny, can't he just prepare for the audition and then try to get a hold of his girlfriend later that day or tomorrow at the latest? No! They could be dead tomorrow. Especially that one guy. He could die any second. They have to do both of them today. This movie kind of feels like a Lele Pons YouTube skit from like 2017, but instead of like 10 minutes long, it's an hour and a half long. From the sound effects to the uncomfortable silence between every spoken line in this movie.
Why would you give me goat milk?
I watched an interview. You said you like goat milk.
I can't tell if they're using the awkward silence for like comedic effect to like really hammer home that like, these guys are kind of weird. Or if the silence is more just because nobody knows their lines very well. There's another option that they added in all these pauses in the movie because we're supposed to be laughing at the things that they're saying in the movie. So they added in nice little pauses for us to laugh.
She left with a dude?
A buff dude. And they had bags. And yes, they left together.
In fact, it kind of feels like, have you ever seen people who have edited The Big Bang Theory so that it doesn't have the laugh track to show how like bad all of the jokes are?
Who are you? Oh, I'm Denise, the new assistant manager.
That's kind of what this movie feels like.
Why are your eyes all watery?
Because I'm high.
That's way better. Bazunga. It's so fitting that this movie feels like a bad YouTube video from 5 years ago because I'm pretty sure they filmed this at Rice Gum's old house. Did something happen in that house? Is there like a curse? 100 years ago, one of Hollywood's earliest YouTubers died in that house and now all the content that's created there is cursed to be mad disappointing. Okay, so now they got to investigate what's happened to Apple. London's phone is broken, so he can't contact her, so the only thing he can do is go looking for her. So he goes to the last place she was seen and talks to Pete Davidson.
you see Apple?
Yeah, she was just here like 2 minutes ago.
Did she say where she was going?
You know what? She did. She actually... No, are you fucking crazy? You guys never talk to me. I mean, the only reason you know my name is because it's on my name tag. Right there. Berry. Barry.
Pete Davidson feels like he's not really invested in this movie at all. He breaks the fourth wall a little bit too much in this movie. He reads his name tag like he's making fun of the fact that it doesn't say Pete Davidson. He's like, Barry? That's not my real name. My real name's Pete. It's funny because I'm very clearly Pete Davidson and not some guy named Barry who works at a valet stand. There's also a scene later on in the movie where he looks directly into the lens of the camera. I think they could have cut that out. Well, talking to Pete Davidson, Barry. It's just so funny that he's pretending to be Barry. Talking to Barry didn't get him any leads, so I guess that means now it's time to go to his audition. Sorry, he breaks into Apple's house to find clues?
Find clues, please.
Find clues of what? What might she have left lying around that would indicate whether she made a typo this morning or not? They find a bag of her fingers? She was missing her fingers this morning. That's why she fucked up the tags. Oh. We should probably call the police, right?
I'm not breaking into my girlfriend's house. Can't believe I'm breaking into my girlfriend's house.
Me neither, dude. Your life is pretty crazy. London Clash is so dumb. He makes the worst decisions at every move in this movie, okay? While they're in Apple's house, one of London's friends knocks over every single urn on the mantle and ashes go everywhere. And so they're like, oh shit, we have to put back the urns and then refill the ashes. But they're like, the only problem is, where are we supposed to find ashes? Where are we gonna find enough ashes to fill up these urns? But like, they didn't lose the ashes. They all just fell on the floor. They could just sweep them up and put them back in urns. It's like MGK was like constantly forgetting what previously happened in movies, and so the plot is being driven forward by things that just aren't problems. So anyway, as I said, this is a stoner comedy. You can probably guess the solution they think of to produce a bunch of ashes to fill back up the urns. Yep. They're gonna smoke a bunch of weed. Bunch of weed. This movie's crazy. They're gonna smoke a bunch of weed. Well, at least this dumbass plan that doesn't make any sense is gonna result in like some crazy shit happening, right? Something funny's bound to happen now, right? Wrong. They just spend like 10 minutes having a boring ass smoke session on the couch. And then one of them tries to talk to a lobster. They really sat around writing this movie and were like, what's the craziest thing that could happen while we're high? And then settled on talking to a lobster. You know, since weed is legalized in a lot of places like California, where they filmed this, I feel like stoner comedies aren't nearly as like interesting or edgy as they used to be. You know, smoking used to be kind of like a fringe culture. It doesn't really feel like this is like, it's like that crazy or funny anymore. This is a scene of 4 adults sitting around a living room and obeying the law.
Why did you spell it like that?
It's a typo.
Oh my god, it was a typo all along? Who would have guessed that? So I guess now the movie can end now, right? The movie can't end now, right? The movie can end now, right? There's 30 minutes left in this movie? What the fuck is gonna happen? What are they gonna do for 30 more minutes? Sit at a diner, apparently. So you're probably wondering how they wrap this whole thing up, huh? MGK missed his audition, he's not getting the role. His girlfriend is pissed off at him. How are they gonna wrap this movie up? Some sort of grand gesture that wins over both the director and the girlfriend? No, obviously not. That would make too much sense. London Clash gets the role because the director happened to see an Instagram live stream where London pounds of candy in front of a caveman. He would eat all of it and then he would throw up and then he would die probably because he's never eaten that much sugar before. But hey, I guess that's just kind of what he was hardwired to do. So if you want to be a good cave wife, you got to go out there and you got to get your man as much candy as you can find. You want to go to the store and buy him one of those lollipops that's as big as his head that he always wanted when he was a kid, but his mom would never let him have. And that's the only way to keep men happy, all right? These alpha male type guys are always trying to sound like scientific. Like this is the science-backed way to attract a mate. And this is the evolutionary way that relationships are supposed to be. But I feel like if they were being honest, they would recognize that there's a difference between what humans like naturally are inclined to do and what is healthy and what is sustainable. You know what else increases your status? Murder. Can't be anyone higher up on the hierarchy if they're all dead, right? It's weird. I don't see any of them advocating that, but it's the same primal instinct that they're talking about, so why don't they? To prove what a sick and cool lifestyle this guy has, here is a video that he posted on Christmas while apparently alone in a hotel room.
Merry Christmas. I think a lot of people have the wrong idea about me. They look at me and they go, you hear about that Tate guy, you know, he's the 4-time kickboxing world champion, he's tall, he's strong, he's smart, he's fucking gorgeous.
That's the wrong idea? People have the wrong idea about me. He's smart, he's rich, he's tall, he's funny. When in actuality, I am short, rude, and poor. Anyway, yeah, that's the war room. I feel like this video took a lot of twists and turns, but as I kept clicking on different links on this dude's website, I just kept getting more and more shocked at what I was finding. So hopefully this was an entertaining video. I was considering purchasing like a war room membership as part of a follow-up video, but I honestly do not feel good about putting any money in this guy's pockets. I'm honestly a little bit worried that if I paid this guy 7,000 pounds, it would go towards like more guns or like a prison cell for his employees. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and now it's time to talk about our sponsor. Guys, you know what you're probably not gonna get if you spend $5,000 to hang out with the guys from the war room? Delicious home-cooked meals, which is why I thoroughly believe that today's sponsor, HelloFresh, is a much better investment than the war room. HelloFresh has been a long-time sponsor of the channel, and I love their service. Every week, they send you 3 delicious meals that you get to cook at home with all of the ingredients pre-portioned, so you can skip all of the prepping and planning and going to the grocery store that, if you're like me, stresses you out about dinner time. HelloFresh is equipped to be able to serve a bunch of different lifestyles. With fit and wholesome recipes and low calories or carbs, you can indulge in delicious meals without having to worry about breaking your diet. My favorite things about HelloFresh are that, 1, I only know how to cook a handful of things, and HelloFresh has a huge variety of recipes. Like every week you get to choose from something different. And 2, they're a super sustainable option. The packaging that they send you your food in is already recycled content, and HelloFresh cuts down on your food waste by 25% over grocery shopping. Cooking with HelloFresh is fun and honestly super easy. Anybody can follow the instructions and it'll kind of make you feel like a chef. So if you want to check out HelloFresh, then go to HelloFresh.com and use my code TrulyGreg16 to get 16 free meals and 3 surprise gifts. I don't know what the surprise gifts are, but if it's anything like their food, I'd say it's worth it. Thank you to HelloFresh for sponsoring this video, and thank you to you guys for supporting my channel by checking out HelloFresh. All right, thanks for watching. Bye. What's up, Greg, and welcome back to the Beef Zone, baby. This is where we talk about the internet's hottest drama going on right now. Today, we're gonna be talking about Axel Weber. He's a TikTok star, and he's already started one of the year's most insane internet quarrels. I don't particularly talk about internet drama too much on my channel, but I had to do an installment of the Beef Zone just this once because this is a pretty unique case. I don't think I've ever seen anybody start an internet beef quite like this before. And that's because this dude, Axel, has started a feud with a college. This dude has started beef with a 4-year accredited institution. I've never seen that happen before. Other influencers are out here starting beefs with each other because of like messy breakups, problematic tweets. This dude's out here starting beef with institutions. That's crazy. I'm gonna start doing that. The DMV, you're done. You're canceled. I had to wait in line once 5 years ago when I got my license renewed. You're done. Everybody go harass the DMV now, please. No, don't actually do that. This dude, Axel Weber, he's a very popular TikToker. He's got 3.9 million followers. He is, okay. What was that? It looked like he was calling me. Okay, it's to share to WhatsApp, I see. I click on it, he's like, hey dude, are you making a video about me right now? No. How did you know that? So yeah, he was already really popular on TikTok. He had like 1 million followers a couple months ago, and now he's skyrocketed to almost 3.9 million followers, mostly because of this series of videos he did auditioning for Juilliard's acting school, and he did not get in. And his fans were like so upset by this that they started a war with Juilliard, which like thrust Axel into the spotlight because all of these major news outlets were like covering this dude. And so now he has like almost 4 million followers literally because he didn't get into Juilliard. Kind of crazy considering I also didn't get into Juilliard and I don't have 4 million followers on TikTok. So what happened with that? I didn't even get an audition with Juilliard. They didn't even offer me one. How fucked up is that? Where are my fans? Greg, what's going on? It's just kind of crazy that you can get famous for not doing something impressive, you know? Like if he had gotten into Juilliard, that would be really cool. That'd be worth, you know, making a big stink about, I feel like, because like nobody gets into Juilliard. Dude, did you hear about that guy who's going viral viral because he's gonna try to climb Mount Everest blindfolded with his hands tied behind his back? Oh no way, dude, that sounds insane. Did he actually do it? No, no, actually, he did not. He's dead. He died. Not even on the mountain either. He choked on a granola bar on the flight to Mount Everest. He's going viral? Yeah, dude, his funeral has 800 million likes. So I feel like to fully appreciate this story, we kind of have to go back to the beginning where it all began. So in December of 2021, just about a month ago, Axel had just moved to New York. He's pursuing acting. He's making a bunch of TikToks about living in the world's smallest apartment, and he has just hit 1 million followers on TikTok.
Hi, we just hit 1 million on TikTok. Come on.
I can see why he had followers to begin with. He's like a charismatic guy. I'm sure people think he's handsome. He's got personality. He does his little dancey dance. Look at him go. But little did Axel know at the time that one Juilliard audition would change his life forever. And not because he did a good job, but because he did so bad that it changed his life forever.
Dear Axel, on behalf of the Juilliard division, thank you for your interest in our program and for sharing your talent with the faculty during the initial audition. As you are already aware, due to our callback process, you are no longer under consideration for admission for fall 2022.
It sounds like he already knew he wasn't getting in. It's kind of fucked up that they even sent him the letter. You already know this because we didn't give you a callback after your audition, but just so you know, you're still not accepted to Juilliard. You still did a really bad job. There's no chance of you getting in here. How many times do they have to tell him he didn't get into Juilliard? Damn. They just send him a letter every year. Dear Axel, as you may have guessed, as you are 2 years into going to a completely different school for a completely different degree, you did not get into Juilliard. Your audition was very bad, Axel. You ruined your chances of an acting career, Axel. Over the past 2 years, we have been telling every casting director and pretty much everyone who works in the industry how bad your audition was. We've had a lot of time to destroy your career, Axel, and we've done it. So it's a pretty sad video of him not getting into his dream school. I definitely feel for him, and a lot of other people did too. So basically what happened after that is a bunch of people started rallying to support him. You had like all of his own fans commenting, being like, fuck Juilliard, dude, you don't need Juilliard. Even some celebrities weighed in.
Hello, Axel.
Hi, Charlie.
I replied to your video, but I figured I'd do a video message as well.
Appreciate it.
Not only did I not get into Juilliard, but I didn't get into 5 of these prestigious schools that I wanted to get into that I thought could better my career.
Don't believe it.
And while I do think school is great, and I did end up going to Berkeley,
Okay.
a prestigious conservatory for the arts
Congrats.
is not going to be the thing that defines your career as an actor.
Ooh.
Honestly, I mean, it's a sweet sentiment, and I agree with the message. You know, not every famous actor went to a super prestigious school like Juilliard to learn how to act. You know, some just had rich parents, and so that's how they got into it. Lucky for him, I feel like he seems to like Charlie Puth. I feel like this video would not be nearly as impactful if it was like some guy that Axel does not care about. There's a video of Vanilla Ice being like, take it from me, Vanilla Ice. I didn't get into Juilliard either, but that didn't stop me from becoming the 20th most famous person for 1 month in 1995 and then slowly slipping into obscurity for the rest of my life. Axel's like, oh, thanks, dude. Does anyone else want to chime in? Did anyone else not get into Juilliard? Someone with like a lifelong body of work? Someone with a really impressive career? It wasn't just like celebrities reaching out to Axel either. There were like different organizations being like, hey, you don't need Juilliard, dude. Come work with us and we'll get you to where you want to be in your career.
I didn't get into Juilliard. We know that.
And I did get another letter to prove it. This is the 17th one they've sent me now.
But I did get a modeling contract with one of the largest agencies in the world.
So I am a little confused about how this happened or why Axel seems to be so like excited about it. It does seem to be like totally unrelated to what he said his dream was. I thought he wanted to be an actor and go to a prestigious acting school. Like, does he even want to be a model? I don't know if he's ever mentioned it before. I watched a few of his TikToks from like before that, and it seemed like he really wanted to be an actor. It's like a totally different industry. All right, guys, you know that my dream of becoming a professional actor didn't work out, but I am still gonna be working in the industry, it turns out. I got a job at a movie theater. I think I may be able to work my way up from there. I think you'll be seeing me on the big screen real soon. It's just weird to see him going from not getting into a school that he wasn't qualified for to getting a job that it seems like he is even less qualified for, because I assume he at least had some sort of like acting prowess or like did some sort of acting before he started applying to acting schools. But modeling, it's like he didn't even want to do that before. Not only did he get a modeling job out of getting rejected from Juilliard, he also got a New York Times article.
We just made the New York Times. When Axel Weber was rejected from Juilliard,
The internet stepped in.
The article is basically covering how all of Axel's fans flooded the Juilliard Instagram account to like lambast them in the comments. Which, to be fair, Axel does say like, don't do that.
More than anything, we cannot bash Juilliard though. They're just doing their job.
I don't want to lead you into thinking that Axel like actively encouraged this and like caused this to happen. Like he was like, fuck Juilliard. Everybody ripped them to shreds in the comments. But his videos did unintentionally have that consequence. And it's pretty crazy to read some of the comments that people have left on Juilliard's Instagram account. Let's take a look at some of them. Their most recent posts have like 0 comments, 1 comment, 6 comments. Let's go to around the time this Axel Weber drama was going on. 1,000 comments, 2,000 comments, 18,000 comments. 18,000? Dude, what were people saying? Let my boy Axel in, he deserves better. Let Axel in! Get my boy in. My dog died on campus and they tied me up and made me eat it. Doesn't have anything to do with Axel. Dude is just straight up slandering this university because his boy didn't get in. Don't worry, Axel. You should be glad you didn't get in there. All right? They made me eat my pet. You're gonna regret it when that man wins an Oscar. I honestly don't even think that they would regret it if he, like, ended up having a successful acting career. They really only care about the people they did admit having successful acting careers. In general, I've seen a lot of comments that have the same tone of, like, I bet Juilliard wishes they never rejected my man. And it's like, yeah. Probably, but I don't think it's for the reason you think. I don't think it's like the dean's office that are like, oh, we should have never said no. He's so talented. Look at him on TikTok doing his little dancey dance. He's wearing a sweater. He's modeling. Oh, what we could have had. No, it's not them, dude. It's the poor like 20-year-old marketing intern that runs the Juilliard school Instagram account. It's the person who keeps getting notifications on their phone saying like, let Axel in. New Instagram comment. Let Axel in. They're the one that's probably like, Jesus Christ, couldn't they just fucking accept this kid? I really like this comment. Let him in, you dogs. L school. Juilliard does not care, all right? They do not care that they have 18,000 comments on one post. The headmaster of Juilliard, what is it? What is like the person who is in charge called? Is it the dean? The headmaster? The principal? I went to college. I don't know why the president. We had a president of our school. I don't think the president is reading these comments being like, L school? Oh, classes are canceled today. Go home. Everyone go home. It's also like, whoa, dude, don't start insulting the kid's dream school. You're not really rooting for him if you're like, oh, you wanted to go to that L school, Axel? That decrepit excuse for a school run by dogs? I definitely feel bad for whatever school he applies to next if he ever tries to apply for college again. When they get that application, they're just gonna like start sweating immediately. All right, who's next on the list of applicants? All right. No pressure, but if we don't let this kid in, we're gonna get doxxed and swatted. Right now, you're probably wondering, like, what were Axel's chances of getting into Juilliard? Like, was he a shoo-in and like a really good actor and had like an insane experience? What is this guy's qualifications? First off, let's look up how hard is it to get into Juilliard. Spelled Juilliard wrong, so I am definitely not going to get in. Admission to Juilliard is highly competitive with an overall acceptance rate between 5 and 8%. So it's an extremely difficult school to get into. Obviously, it's like insanely prestigious. But you know, maybe he killed his audition. Maybe he's a great actor. So let's see. He has a TikTok talking about how his audition went. So let's hear in his own words how he describes it.
Here's how you absolutely botch a Juilliard audition. Remember I said the only thing I can't do is an accent? I did an accent. I couldn't help it. I just Oberon to make him smile. It just sounds better when he sounds like he came straight out of an HBO show.
All right, I know it's not the point of the TikTok, but what does he mean I couldn't help it when he said he did the accent? Like, did you prepare your audition and not practice an accent at all? And then the second you get into your audition, you're like, hello, governor. Why am I talking like this? Oh, no. Did you really just decide to do an accent on the fly? Because, like, holy shit, what a bad idea. Of course you didn't get into Juilliard, dude. You went off book. You became a different nationality. Live.
The guy gave me absolutely no reaction. He just stared right into my soul.
I feel like that's kind of how auditions go, though. If you do a really great job, they're not supposed to be like, like right off the bat. I think they're supposed to play it cool because they can't like make you think you got the part just in case, you know, someone even better comes in and then they have to give it to that person. And what reaction was he expecting? Guys, I don't think my audition went very well. The admissions director didn't even come. He just said, thanks, that'll be all. You know what he should have done if he wanted to impress them? He should have came into the audition speaking in a British accent, and then when he was actually reading his monologue, switched to his regular American accent. They would have been blown away.
I have an audition for Juilliard, January 9th. I have to learn some Shakespeare.
Never even read Hamlet. I jest to Oberon and make him smile, when I a fat and bean-fed horse beguile, neighing in likeness of a filly foal, and sometimes I lurk in a gossip's bowl. I don't understand what's happening.
Not that I really think that this made a difference, but just a word of advice. If you're applying for a college, I wouldn't post on your like public social media something about like the application process or the audition process being like, I don't know what the fuck this means. This shit's dumb, dude. Shakespeare sounds like an idiot, man. It's also weird that like, after all of these videos of him being like, I don't know what the fuck Shakespeare is, and him being like, I randomly did an accent at the audition, that all of his fans still have his back. And they're still like, you deserve to get into Juilliard. Don't worry, we'll take it from here. We're gonna get you into Juilliard. We're gonna storm Juilliard for you, buddy, don't worry. Anything to get you in. All of this brings up a bigger topic of like, why are people so invested in this guy getting into Juilliard? This guy who like, has literally shown no prowess, no acting prowess whatsoever. He's been like, I botched my audition. I don't fuck with Shakespeare. He seems like a nice kid too. I just don't understand why people are like so ride or die for Axel getting into Juilliard. Probably a decent amount of them are joking and just thought it would be funny to like get way too into it and take his side. But I do think it's also kind of like the cute teen white boy effect, where like a fan base of 12-year-olds will literally do anything for a white guy that they think is cute. You know who I think probably hates this more than anyone? The students who actually did get into Juilliard. Just seeing this dude get rejected and be rewarded for like his not being very good at acting with a modeling contract and an extra 3 million followers. Meanwhile, you get into Juilliard and you get rewarded with student loans. I think that this guy is benefiting from a lot of privilege and maybe not realizing it. I don't know, man. He seems like a sweet kid, but also is sort of coming off a little bit like, I deserve this. Like he moved to New York expecting to get into one of the top 10 acting schools. Like that's why he says he lives in this apartment. And it seems like that sense of entitlement has been picked up a little bit by his fans as well. The whole thing kind of reminds me of like the Alex from Target phenomenon, when like just this random cute boy got like thrust into the spotlight and millions of followers because he was like attractive once. I don't know. Let's see how his modeling career is going. I wonder if he's posted any updates on that. Oh, this TikTok is called First Photo Shoot. He's a natural. All right. All right, well, that's pretty much the whole Axel Weber thing. It seems like he's doing good now. He's got his modeling career going, and I guess we'll be seeing him on the cover of Vogue pretty soon. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you do and you're new here, make sure you subscribe and turn on my notifications to join Greg. I'll see you guys next time. Bye. All right, I have two things to apologize for. One, this video is definitely gonna come out after Christmas, and two, sorry I look like such a freaking nerd right now, dude. These glasses. I have an ulcer on my eyeball. Merry Christmas to me. Don't worry, it's not a big deal. It's gonna get better in a few days. I just have to put these drops in my eyes like every 20, 30 seconds. I know this is gonna come out after Christmas because I'm recording this the day after Christmas. But to be fair, like, are modern Christmas movies even really about Christmas anymore? Old Christmas movies used to be like, you know, sweetie, this family is the best Christmas gift a guy could ever ask for. Why, I'm starting to think I won't kill myself after all. Whereas now, Christmas movies just feel like a hodgepodge of cliches that are vaguely related to Christmas. Every Christmas movie now is like, Christmas with the Stinks. What happens when Santa gets lost in a small town just 1 week before Christmas? He's gonna have to spend it with the Stinks. Hey, come on in, we're the Stinks. We like to poop and shit. Also, Santa is a secret agent. And he's got a gun. I have a gun. Starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson as every role and filmed entirely in front of a green screen. I have a gun. Netflix presents Christmas with the Farts. Only on Hulu, July 7th. I mean, Netflix's like big Christmas movie they came out with last year didn't feel like a Christmas movie at all. It was a very confused movie about Santa being kidnapped by a witch who like sucks all of his powers up so she can imprison half of the population, which on its face does seem like it could be like a whimsical, fun Christmas movie. I just wish any of the people making the movie realized that, because they all just played it really serious and made it feel like a Marvel movie.
Hey, Fred. Got a 5'11" male grown-up hovering by the scented candles. Keep an eye out.
Yeah, we got a guy maybe stealing one candle. Can we get somebody to take him in the back and kick his ribs in? Also, Santa appears to have some kind of deal with the US military. They like escort him around with fighter jets. What does the US military get from this deal? Santa, are you making them bombs? I also feel like this movie does this thing that a lot of Christmas movies do now, where because Santa's whole operation is basically impossible, basically, not, you know, I still believe in Santa. They try to come up with lore that explains it and makes it seem more believable. So like in this movie, instead of Santa's village just being like a dozen elves helping him, it's like an entire city. It's a metropolis. Yeah. No, that actually makes it make less sense. It actually made more sense when it was just magic. Thank you, though. Anyway, I don't really want to spend too long talking about that movie because it's pretty boring. And I also want to talk about the movies that I actually want to talk about. Dear Santa and A Very Jonas Christmas. Dear Santa also came out last year, and the premise, if you can believe it, is that a little boy writes a letter to Santa, but he is dyslexic, so he accidentally addresses it to Satan. And then Satan shows up. And it turns out he's the guy from the Minecraft movie. Yeah, very different kind of idea for a Christmas movie, but in their defense, at least they made him terrifying. Yeah, I don't know what kind of processing they did on Jack Black's face, but he looks very uncanny. I mean, he looks like a video game character. To the point where, like, he might be completely CGI. I don't know if Jack Black knows he's in this movie. And I think that this right here is what might have given me that eyeball ulcer.
Young kid writes a letter to Santa, but he misspells it and it goes to Satan. So Satan, played by Jack Black, shows up at Christmas time and comedy ensues.
Why did they put Jack Black in quotes?
Played by Jack Black.
Does Jack Black know he's in this movie? That's why Jack Black is in this movie that we made about Satan. On all accounts, this movie makes zero sense. I don't know why they made this. A child being haunted by the Lord of Darkness should be the plot of like a horror movie. Is he gonna be like his friend? Are they gonna hang out? Is this gonna be like Gooby but with an evil monster? They already made that movie. It's called Gooby. Now going into this movie for the first time, I knew two things about it. One, that Jack Black plays Satan. And two, that something happens at the end of this movie that is in very poor taste. I was very curious to see what that was, but as the movie progressed, I honestly had a hard time seeing how that could possibly be. I mean, after all, there's so much insane shit in this movie, how could there possibly just be one thing? So most of this movie revolves around Satan trying to get this little child Liam to fulfill a deal in which Liam gets 3 wishes, and Satan gets his soul for eternity, and Liam goes to, and excuse my language here, hell. And in fact, he does eventually fulfill the deal, which leads to this very confusing montage.
What? Why so blue?
Why so blue? I just sold my soul to the devil.
Bad to the bone.
I'm sorry, I'm having a little trouble seeing why him selling his soul to Satan made him cool suddenly. Damn, look at that kid. He's so cool. What's his secret? I'm going to hell. Oh, I'm going to hell. So, like, does that lead to the poor taste ending? Is it Liam's parents' marriage falling apart? Is it Liam trying to use Satan to get his crush to fall in love with him? Is it this kid's teeth? Is it him wishing Satan would resurrect his brother from the dead and it happening? Oh, yep, that's it. It's that.
We wanted to make sure that it didn't get too dark. It didn't become a horror movie or anything like that.
I don't know, guys. I think you made it too dark.
We wanted to tell a nice Christmas story.
Yep. It's nothing like Satan resurrecting a little boy from the dead to make you forget this movie had anything to do with Christmas. Also, like a third of this movie revolves around Liam going to a Post Malone concert to impress his crush. And of course, Satan puts a spell over Post Malone to make him think that he's best friends with Liam. And when I was watching this, I was like, okay, so they must have just like repurposed all of this Post Malone concert footage from an actual Post Malone concert, right? Oh, no. No, there's Liam dancing up on stage with him. Damn. They really threw a whole Post Malone concert for this weird-ass movie. That's crazy.
And I wanted to bring up probably the most important man to my career and the inspiration for my music.
I am happy for Liam, but I'm concerned for Post Malone here. Bringing a 10-year-old on stage and being like, this little boy is my muse. He's everything to me. It's definitely gonna put a weird stain on his career. Everyone in the crowd is like, yo, this Liam dude sounds awesome. Post Malone has lost his mind, but this Liam kid can dance. Hey guys, it's me, Santa. I probably look a little bit different than you're used to, huh? Probably expecting a guy in a big red coat with a white beard, huh? Well, this is what I actually look like. All that stuff about rosy cheeks and a big white beard is all made up. Coca-Cola made that up in the 80s. I have always looked like this. Anyways, guys, I was just popping in here to thank SoFi for sponsoring this portion of the video. As we all know, one of the simplest and most powerful ways to build wealth is actually by earning interest on your money. Making your money work for you. Just like I make the goblins work for me. Like, that's right, the elves are another thing Coca-Cola made up. They're actually goblins, and sometimes I also hire ghosts. But here's the thing, when it comes to interest, most banks give you a tiny amount, like a fraction of a percent. But thanks to today's sponsor, SoFi, we're gonna change all that for you, all right? SoFi is a mobile-first finance company helping its members save, spend, borrow, and invest. When you open a SoFi checking and savings account and set up an eligible direct deposit, you earn a competitive APY, and there are no account fees. One thing I do want to make clear is I do still like milk and cookies. So if you're like, oh, this isn't the Santa I know, I'm not gonna leave out milk and cookies. That's the one thing I do like, but I like oatmeal raisin. I'm an oatmeal raisin guy. That means your money's not just sitting there, it's working. Every dollar you earn in interest can earn more dollars in interest. Over time, that's gonna really add up. You'll even get paid up to 2 days early with direct deposit. And you can access additional FDIC insurance up to $3 million on deposits through a seamless network of participating banks. For a limited time, when you open a new high-yield savings account, you can get up to a $300 cash bonus and a 0.7% boost on your savings APY with eligible direct deposit. Terms apply. So start putting your money to work like I put those geese to work pulling my sleigh through the air. That's right, reindeer can't fly. I use geese because they can fly. Head to SoFi.com/Danny, click the link in the description, or scan this QR code to learn more and get started. Thank you to SoFi for sponsoring this video, and thank you to you guys for checking out SoFi. Merry Christmas! I just laugh like that. Now, I got a lot of requests to talk about this Jonas Brothers Christmas movie, A Very Jonas Christmas. And the movie definitely lives up to the title. Almost this whole thing is about the Jonas Brothers. So this movie is about Nick, Joe, and Kevin having like one last concert in London before they have to fly home for Christmas with their families. But due to a series of goofy hijinks, they get stranded. And at one point in the trailer, it looks like they even get lost in the woods in Europe. When I watched the trailer, I was like, how the fuck are they gonna get lost in the woods? There are no airports there. So when I first heard about this movie, I was very excited to watch it. I think the only other movie I've ever seen these three brothers in is Camp Rock, and that movie was very easy to make fun of. And I don't really even think they've made many movies since Camp Rock. I mean, on Rotten Tomatoes, Nick's picture looks like it's from like 2013, Joe's 2015, and Kevin's 1978. Also, look at the poster for this movie. Is this about them trying to get home for Christmas or assailing a foreign dignitary to assassinate him? We got Nick in the car, Kevin in the train, and Joe is definitely gonna die up there. Oh yes, there's no doubt about it. This movie is gonna be pretty bad. Let's look at what it's got on IMDb. Oh, a 5.7. Okay, that's actually better than I would have thought. What about Rotten Tomatoes? 92? Wait, it looks like people actually really like this movie. And look at this dad on TikTok. He's losing his mind laughing. Did the Jonas Brothers make a good Christmas movie? On purpose? Okay, so I have watched the movie, and I will say it's better than I thought it was gonna be, but that doesn't mean that it's not insane, because it is still insane. For example, you're probably wondering how the Jonas Brothers got stranded in Europe in the first place. Like, obviously, most people have to deal with, like, holiday travel congestion, but the Jonas Brothers probably fly on, like, a private jet, right? They're not dealing with regular air traffic. Well, like I said, they just finished their tour. They're anxious to get home to their kids. It does kind of seem like their kids aren't really that anxious for them to get home.
I'm gonna be home tomorrow and I'm gonna take you skiing just like I promised. And she could care less.
That does kind of lower the stakes of the movie a little bit, that they're like, guys, what are we gonna do? We've gotta get home for Christmas. Our kids need us. And their kids are just like, nah, we're good, man. Don't worry about it. We have really healthy attachment, so we're not gonna fret too much about it. Don't do anything too drastic. How about we get lost in the woods and eaten by wolves? Well, Nick and Kevin are anxious to get home, actually. Joe is a little bit sad that tour is over because he's gonna miss his brothers. So he starts unknowingly venting to none other than Santa himself.
Nothing like Christmas to help a family rediscover its magic.
Except our Christmas plans are to get the hell away from each other, so.
Oh, that's not good. That's not good at all.
Hold up. They want to get home for their kids on Christmas? No. Santa cannot allow that. Santa hates kids. So Joe walks away, and Santa is upset that the Jonas Brothers aren't going to be spending Christmas together. So he comes up with a brilliant plan. Nay, a perfect plan. Nay, a terrible plan to keep the Jonas Brothers together.
Christmas spirits, I've seen something tragic. These boys shan't get home till they rediscover their brotherly magic. Unless they decide to spend Christmas with each other. The spell will keep brother stuck with brother, stuck with brother.
I mean, that's wild. Is that a thing that Santa does? He casts spells like a witch? Dang, maybe I take back what I said earlier.
Hey, come on in, we're the Stinks. We like to poop and shit.
No, not that. The thing about the magic. It actually made more sense when it was just magic. Thank you, though. Yeah, that. Don't worry, though. The consequences of his spell aren't anything too crazy. After all, Santa Claus works in subtle ways. Holy shit! Santa, did you check to make sure there weren't people on there? Let's have a moment of silence for all the people on that plane that involuntarily volunteered their lives for the greater good. Helping the Jonas Brothers reconnect. I had no idea that when Santa worked his magic, there was so much like death and despair involved. That's crazy. Also, it's a little bit disturbing that I feel like the Santa in this movie has already done worse things than Satan did in that entire movie.
You're the uptight, responsible one. You're the lovable tramp, and I'm the relatable human cardboard. Forgettable Curly, the world's most unlikely rock star. Not Nick or Joe. The one that still lives in New Jersey.
Dang, they are really leaning into this ragging on Kevin thing in this movie. Like, damn, I know this is a thing people joke about. I know I've written a whole song about ghosting the guy, but you guys are his brothers, dude. Feels different when you do it. This movie is also a musical, which is kind of fun. A lot of the songs are very catchy, like Coming Home This Christmas. Unfortunately, music labels have been like very strict about copyrighted music on YouTube, so I can only show you like a tiny little snippet of it. Now, one thing that made it kind of tricky to write a video about this movie is that they do this very self-aware thing where anytime like a goofy plot detail comes up, they make a joke about it before you even get a chance to think it in your head. Wait, they're getting to the train station just barely before their train, but they're gonna stop to sing a song about it? That's kind of...
You think we have time for a song? Yeah!
Oh, they already... Okay. But isn't this whole plot just the plot of a bunch of Christmas movies?
Have you ever seen a Christmas movie? It's literally the entire plot of the film.
Damn, they're good. Who knew the secret to making a flawless movie is just pointing out all the flaws before anybody else has the chance? Honestly, it is a pretty good tactic if your sole goal with the movie was making it really hard for commentary YouTubers to make videos about it. But it does feel very defensive, and it also kind of gets old to, in every scene, be like, yo, this is kind of weird. What is going on here right now? What the hell, is that a camera? Also, there's a lot of parts in the movie that are actually genuinely funny, and they kind of ruin them by doing this like self-aware thing. Like this song that Nick sings from his musical Home Alone the Musical, where all the lyrics are just about how being home alone means that there's no people in the house. It's a very funny song. Also, I think that YouTube is claiming this one less, so I think I can show a little bit more of it. But even when the movie is actually funny, the writers still feel the need to be like, what the hell are these guys even talking about?
I can't believe the show only ran 3 weeks. I can.
I'm sorry, Joe. Nick is just being so random right now. I mean, what is this? Some kind of movie? On Disney Plus, perhaps? Another downfall of this movie is that it really hinges on you knowing a lot about the Jonas Brothers. I mean, they weren't kidding with that title, dude. This is a very Jonas Christmas. Ideally, they want you to know, like, details about the Jonas Brothers' personal lives that I just am not in tune with. So I felt like I kept missing references. Like, apparently Joe has a line of candles.
I know what you need. A calming chamomile candle. My new line, Glow by Joe.
Also, apparently Nick and Kevin are married with kids, and Joe is divorced? I didn't know that before I watched this movie. So every time they would vaguely reference it, I had no idea what they were talking about.
Got a few bad breakups under my belt as well.
I'm not sure what to do here. Like, do people pretend not to know literally everything about your personal life? Or like...
Yeah, it must suck for everybody to know that you have brothers? That's what we're talking about, right? You had 2 brothers and then you got divorced with one of them, so now you just got one, huh? I know so little about their personal lives that in my head, Joe just is his character from Camp Rock. So when I heard that he was divorced, I was like, damn, it didn't work out with Mitchie. You guys were so perfect for each other. So more wacky hijinks happened, and eventually they get picked up by Santa, who I gotta be honest is a very unorthodox Santa.
I live a very solitary life. My home is very remote, and my work is all-consuming.
Yeah, he's like lonely and burnt out. I guess maybe he doesn't have the elves in this version of Santa, and so he has to do it all himself. Maybe he makes every present via terrifying spell.
This lone wolf has always daydreamed about being part of a pack.
Would you mind pulling over? I just want to go check on my brothers.
Hey, would you mind pulling over? You're freaking me the fuck out. Eventually, they find a private jet to fly them home, but the pilot crashes the plane because he's taking sexy pictures of himself while flying. I like how the plane is in complete free fall and they don't seem to be affected by the G-force at all. We're going down! Everybody, brace for impact! Oh, fuck! There's this running plot line throughout the movie about how Kevin secretly wants to sing in a Jonas Brothers song, but they never let him and he's too scared to bring it up. But at the end of the movie, they make it home to their families and they're all singing and they finally let Kevin sing. It's a fun moment. It's great to finally hear him sing, and it's great that they're finally letting him. But then in real life, I just saw that Kevin just like released his own solo song. So it kind of seems like the opposite happened in real life. In the movie, they're like, yay, Kevin is singing. And in real life, they're like, you have to sing as far away from us as humanly possible, please. Honestly, though, all in all, this movie was a lot better than I thought it was gonna be. I was laughing at parts. I even looked like that dad from that TikTok at a few parts, dude. I was sitting on the couch kicking my feet. I was giddy. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hate to break it to you, but I don't know, this will probably be my last video of the year. Enjoy your New Year's celebrations, everybody. Stay safe. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye. What's up, Greg, and welcome back to another episode of A Grown Man Spends 20 Minutes Making Fun of a Movie for Kids. You may have noticed something a little bit different. There's a microphone in the frame. I got a new stand for my microphone, and apparently the only way I can get it like close enough to me is by having it slightly in frame. So I hope this isn't super distracting. This would be kind of a crazy way for like one of those faceless YouTubers to film videos.
What's up, guys?
So today we're going to be talking about Zapped. And after watching this movie, I'm starting to think that the writers of Disney Channel original movies are not capable of writing a movie that's not about a teenager trying to control the opposite sex and mold them and craft them to their liking. You got Pixel Perfect, a movie about creating like the perfect girl pop star. How to Build a Better Boy, pretty self-explanatory in the title on that one. And then you got this movie Zapped, which is about Zendaya discovering that her dog training app can actually train boys to obey it can train boys to obey her every command. It's not actually Zendaya. She's not playing herself. It's Zendaya's playing a character named Zoe. I think that's probably pretty clear, but I just wanted to clear that up. This movie is full of dark magic. I'm convinced of it. There's something deeply sinister going on in this movie. I don't know what it is, but I'm gonna figure it out. Let's go ahead and watch it. The movie starts out with Zendaya's character Zoe giving a maid of honor speech at her mom's wedding. She's marrying this new guy, so her family is about to be merged with his family. So it's Zendaya and her mom, and then this man and his 3 sons. So it's like a family of women mixing with a family of men, which makes a lot of sense because as we know, women give birth to girls and men give birth to boys.
First off, I just want to say how happy I am that my mom has finally found love again. She is the most giving person I know.
Her speech starts off sweet, but then she immediately just starts like kind of complaining about having to live with 4 new guys because they're stinky.
4 guys and their mysterious odors that they always blame on the dog.
Yeah, she sort of takes the opportunity to complain and just make her mom, I guess, like feel bad for marrying a guy. It's the happiest day of her mother's life. And also this guy, her new stepdad, is the happiest day of his life. And her speech is like, I hate my new family, my new stinky family. And this wedding will certainly ruin my life. To make matters even worse, towards the end of her speech, the boys lose control of their pet dog, who is at their wedding for some reason. They lose control of the dog, and the dog goes crazy and knocks like a chocolate fondue fountain all over Zendaya. And at this moment, I couldn't help but remember that Zendaya's character in Euphoria is supposed to be the same age as Zendaya's character in this movie, and their lives are drastically different. Throughout this movie, you will find that the characters are like super weird. They're like caricatures of people that don't exist in real life. And to show how much it's gonna suck really living with the boys, the writers of this movie decided to have the next day start with Zendaya's new stepdad screaming in the hallways, getting everybody ready for school. But then when he sees Zendaya come out of her room, he like doesn't know how to talk to her.
Hey, morning, sport. I mean, hi, girl. Hi, girl.
It's like, dude, you're 50. Have you never talked to a girl before? The movie then establishes why each one of the new guys that she lives with is like gross in some way. One of her little brothers is really messy. The other one's always like cooking gross stuff. Which is like a weird character trait. I get the messy younger brother, but like the gross cooking younger brother, is that a thing? Is that something I'm supposed to be able to relate to? And then the oldest of the brothers is like always frantically running around. He's like always late for something. He's really scatterbrained.
My pants. Where are my pants? Where are my pants? Where are my pants?
Okay, excuse me, can we just establish a few ground rules here? If you're not wearing pants, please stay out of my personal space bubble.
Look, Zoe, I have morning basketball practice and then a players meeting and then a captain's meeting and then even more practicing.
Kind of weird to respond to a request about like not invading my personal space when you're not wearing pants by saying like, but Zoe, I've got basketball practice. Like he fully like bumps his butt on her while getting ready in his underwear, and she's like, can you not do that? And he's like, sorry, sometimes when you're busy you just gotta rub up on your stepsis in your underwear. What don't you get? I'm in many extracurricular clubs, okay? Along with moving into a new house with all these boys, she also starts attending her new school, which is the school that her brother goes to. And you know how in Disney movies there's always like the distinct cliques, like there's the popular crowd and then there's like the stoners, but they never say stoners in the Disney movie. They're just kind of like, these are like the kids who wear jean jackets. This movie has the most insane high school posses ever. You got the skateboard boys. Okay, that's pretty normal. The next group she sees are the shirtless workout boys. And then just the straight up stinky boys, where the only like defining characteristic is that they're dirty, flea-ridden, smelly boys. You can hear like flies flying around them. What clique is this supposed to be in high school? And then there's the popular group, one of whom is also pretty stinky himself, actually.
The Tripster? The Tripathon? It's me. I'm Trip.
Oh.
Bart Bomb.
Oh.
The movie sort of writes this off as like, well, this is just something boys do, you know? New school, you gotta kind of accept what boys come with it, you know? Boys will be boys. No. That is actually not what boys do. That is something that just one very specific boy does.
It's me. I'm Trip.
And he needs to be stopped. I cannot remember a single moment in high school where a boy walked up to a girl, let alone like the new girl who's already like scared and doesn't know anyone and is like, hey, I'm gonna fart in your face now. Welcome to the school, smell my ass. But it's not all bad though. She does make a friend on her very first day. And in typical Disney Channel movie fashion, she is wearing a fedora. Every Disney Channel movie has to have a token fedora blazer wearing character.
But the boys here are cute, aren't they? All of them. I think we have the highest percentage of cute boys in the entire greater Westlake area.
Unlike Zoe though, she actually kind of likes the boys at the school. She's like, sure, they may have their flaws, but they're pretty cute.
Wow, you seem a little... Oh, boy crazy? Yeah, that's the official diagnosis.
Hold up. This girl has a picture of a boy that goes to her school in her locker. Is that a thing? I remember in like middle school, girls would have pictures of like celebrity boys in their locker. Imagine seeing a picture of you in somebody else's locker. I'd feel like I was being hunted. It's weird to have his picture in your locker. It's even weirder in the movie when we find out that she also actually has pictures of him printed out on her pillows in her bed. Nope. That's scary. Imagine if they start dating, she's like FaceTiming him in bed, and she like accidentally tilts the camera a little bit to the side, and he just sees his own face next to her. Wait, what was that? Is that me? Of course, Zoe does have a love interest in this movie, and he is introduced early on. It's this guy. Every boy in the movie is depicted in a negative light except this guy, because this guy, he's not like other guys.
Mr. Kale, pay attention. There will be a quiz.
On the praying mantis? Sphodromantis viridis, carnivorous member of the phylum Arthropoda, class Insecta.
Wow, he really is different than all the other guys. He knows about praying mantises. Most guys around this school don't know shit about bugs. Yeah, the movie really seems to depict this guy as like the way that guys should be. Guys shouldn't be stinky and messy, okay? Guys should wear beanie and sunglasses and know shit about bugs and be 35. I know I talk about this in like every Disney Channel original movie video that I make, but this guy literally looks like he's 30. Maybe he was held back for being too cool or not not being stinky enough. That seems to be a requirement at the school. He went on stage to accept his diploma and they shook his hand and they were like, wait a minute, why isn't your hand sticky? Actually, there's no flies flying around you. Get out of here, dude. Back to freshman year.
No wonder you do the silent lone wolf sunglass rebel thing.
Oh, it's pancake mishap this morning.
No, I'm not looking at that.
Okay, well then what are you looking at?
I'm looking at you.
Creepy. Stops in the middle of the hallway just to stare her down.
I think I've got you figured out.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know, man. This just comes off as creepy to me. I guess this is supposed to be romantic, but it's not really romantic to me. Just scary.
I can see inside you.
Another one of the plot lines in this movie is that Zoe wants to join the dance team, but the girl who runs the dance team is like the popular mean girl. She doesn't want Zoe on the dance team because she's too good at dancing and it's gonna make her look bad or something. Anyway, by now you're probably wondering, when the frick does this app thing happen, right? When the frick does Zoe discover that the dog training app works on boys? Well, at first, it doesn't. Zoe's just trying to train the family dog because it's all just like the rest of the boys in the house. It's stinky. Gross. And it like destroys her room and shit. Breaks this thing that her dad gave to her. She downloads this app called Listen and Obey, which is kind of an ominous sounding app.
Sit. Shake.
Right away, this app is already clearly cursed with dark magic, right? And the dog can even tell too, because you know what the dog does the second he realizes what's going on? He grabs her phone and runs off with it and tries to destroy it, presumably to break the curse. And then what happens next is honestly the most confusing part of the movie, okay? So the dog drops the phone in the bath. Her brother gets it out and tries to swing it around to get the water out of it. It flies out the window, swings around a satellite dish, slides down a solar panel, and lands in dog food. And from here on out, that app is now able to control boys. Any man or boy this app can control against their will.
Sit.
And at first, while watching this movie, I didn't even think it was that weird. I didn't even give it a second thought. I was just like, okay, yeah, so something magical happened and now it can control boys. That makes sense. But like, what? What happened to the phone? I don't understand how solar panels and satellite dish changes the app from dog-based to man-based. Like, you'd think at the very least something having to do with like men would happen to the phone. Like the phone lands in like a bucket of buffalo wings or like flies through a football field. I'm just curious to know if that fucked up other apps on the phone or if it's just the dog training app. Now, whenever a boy likes one of my tweets, he goes into a coma for 3 years. And don't even get me started on the weather app, because every time I check that, boys start falling from the sky. Anyway, let's just say now that she's got the ability to control boys, she has a little bit of fun.
Boys are acting weird.
Dude, he farted twice in midair in such rapid succession. They added in 2 fart sound effects. Kind of impressive. I'm trying to imagine how she's gonna use the app to get herself out of this one. Stop farting. Take it back. Take the fart back. Suck it back up into your ass. Oh, how am I doing this? But no, she just uses the app to utterly humiliate him in front of his friends.
Go to the bathroom. Oh, wait, no, not here.
I'm still confused about some of these clicks, by the way. Like, what are these nerdy kids supposed to be? Look at this kid in the green sweater, how he acts when nobody high-fives him. What is that acting?
I guess your dog app doesn't work on girls. Maybe because girls aren't dog-like enough. They're too catty.
Ah, that's funny. Girls are catty. What the fuck does that mean? Boys are dog-like? What the hell? I mean, I guess in this universe they kind of are. They're like flea-ridden, mangy boys.
Why do we smell like we smell?
So pretty much like the majority of this movie is just Zoe using the app to like get what she wants and make all the boys at the school act exactly how she wants them to. She turns the skater boys into gentlemen. She goes up to the nerdy gamer kids and tells them to like go do yoga instead of playing video games.
Let's go do some yoga.
And her brothers, dude, don't even get me started on what she does to her poor brothers. I'm taking the brothers' side, all right? They did nothing wrong. Her poor brothers were just living their lives until Zoe moved in and tries to fix them.
Be clean. Holy moly, it's filthy in here.
Her messy brother, she tells to be more clean, which turns him into this like hyper-hygienic husk of his former self.
I need a sponge and soap and paper towels and a power washer.
For the rest of the movie, he's literally he's scrubbing everything frantically in a panic. Anytime there's a mess, he's like, I gotta clean it up. She tells the gross cooking boy to cook less gross stuff.
Start making less gross food.
So he's like cooking 5-star meals for the rest of the movie. And then the oldest brother, she tells him to be more focused.
Be focused.
Lampshade.
The boy is just like focused on inanimate objects for the rest of the movie. He's just like staring at a lamp or at the basketball net. She turns her own family into like mindless zombies and she's like, this is better. This is nice. It's creepy, dude. It's eerie, this movie. In all honesty, dude, this show walked so that WandaVision could run. This is basically WandaVision. In fact, since they're both owned by Disney, I wouldn't be surprised if this was in the same universe. This is like a prequel to WandaVision. This is where she gets the idea. It's kind of funny how low the stakes are considering the power that she holds. She could like take over Wall Street. She could get rich. She could make anybody do what she wants. Any man. She could fix every war. Create world peace. In fact, I think her friend says that at one point in the movie. She's like, we could end every war with this. And Zoe's just like, yeah, we could, but I simply will not. I think it's more important that my brother stares at a lamp for the rest of his life. That's kind of the shit I'm on.
Things aren't nearly as terrible as they were. Then again, I'm talking to a dog, so I might just be losing my mind.
Hey, smartphone.
In this scene, there's a little bit more development with the love interest. Zoe runs into him reading alone in the park.
So what are you reading? Oh, no, let me guess. The Cool Guy's Guide to Wearing Sunglasses Inside.
It's close. To Kill a Mockingbird.
I feel like when he holds up that book, we're supposed to be like, wow, he really is not like other guys. Except that, like, that is required reading in most high schools, so he actually is like other guys. He's like every other guy. To Kill a Mockingbird's sort of my favorite book. My second favorite is The Great Gatsby. Third favorite is Geometry 101. I just love to read, what can I say? Eventually things start to get a little crazy at school, and Zoe realizes that she probably shouldn't be controlling people like this anymore. People are getting into fights and stuff because the new cliques at school are just like not meshing well. So Zoe's like, all right, I'll just make them stop. And she tells the app to stop. And then of course, everybody just stands still and freezes. And so she's like, oh no, I can't reverse the commands. If I tell them to stop, they're just gonna literally stop. And so then like many more days go by and she's just like, well, I guess I can never reverse the thing. And it's like, well, what if you just said, hey, ignore all the commands I gave you, instead of just saying stop and being like, oh, it didn't work. The movie continues to get even more dark to like a startling point. There's a creepy ass scene where the whole JV dance team wants to resign because they don't like dancing anymore. And Zoe's like, how about I use the app to make you dance instead? And so there's just a scene of them all like sadly dancing because their hearts aren't in it, but they are being like physically forced to dance. And the movie even goes so far as to make Zoe force the love interest to kiss her with the app.
Kiss me.
She just forced a guy to kiss her. Disney, what are we doing here, dude? What's going on? We need to have a talk with the writers of these movies. Anyway, Zoe feels bad after this, and she gets all stressed because there is a college scout coming to the basketball game. But Zoe's brother obviously isn't playing very well because the only thing he can do is like stare at an object for hours at a time.
Welcome to a new season of Husky basketball. The Huskies have been struggling with practice, and there's a college scout in the stands. So tonight's game could be a nail-biter.
I like that the scout is writing stuff before the game even starts. What do you think he's writing? Ball round, court shiny, boys stinky. Just as the beginning of the movie made no sense, the ending also makes no sense. The phone falls into the wrong hands. The popular girl figures out that Zoe is using it to control people. I don't know how she figures it out. She just like sees Zoe holding it during dance practice and she's like, she's holding her phone while dancing? She must be using mind control. I gotta get that phone. Anyway, she steals the phone. At the basketball game, she just like starts making everybody obey her every command. Crap, 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 crap. Crap. What's up, Greg, and welcome back to another episode of Crap. If you've watched my channel for a long time, you may remember me making a video about the movie Standing Ovation like 5 years ago. And you might think that that movie should have nothing to do with the movie we're going to be watching today, Crap. Because, well, Standing Ovation is about a ragtag group of girls competing in a singing and dancing competition, while Croc is about a man-eating crocodile brutally murdering dozens of people. Come to think of it, in Standing Ovation, I don't think even one person is brutally murdered by a crocodile, but the movies are related nonetheless, because they were both directed by this man, Stuart Raffill. Stuart directed Standing Ovation, he directed Croc, he directed another movie called Bad Girl Island, which I'm very curious about, and he also coincidentally directed Mac and Me, that E.T. ripoff from the 80s that Drew has talked about on his channel, and also Paul Rudd always used to bring a clip of on Conan. This man has a prolific career of creating low-budget films that leave you questioning if what you just watched could even be considered a movie. And today, I'm pleased to report that Croc is no different. Alright, man, what was your strategy here? What are you doing? Why are you even in that position? That's not gonna help you get away.
Maybe if I just pretend I'm already dead, he won't be mad at me anymore. Maybe he'll feel guilty, and then he won't want to eat my whole head. Oh no, he ate my whole head!
Now I know what you guys want. You just want me to go through and show you all the scenes where somebody gets eaten by the crocodile. You know how I know that? Because this whole movie is on YouTube and all of the most rewatched parts are the parts where somebody gets eaten by the crocodile. But first, the movie has to introduce all the characters and set up the plot and the story. Blah. But hey, at least the plot of this movie probably mostly revolves around the crocodile, right? Oh, no, don't worry. That crocodile doesn't want to eat you. He wants to sleep with you. But unfortunately, she's mine, so back off! Does that make you feel better? She's not having it, but don't worry, Jack's not getting his farm shut down. He's the main character of this story. He knows how to treat his animals. He's a good old American boy. USA! USA! Hey, it's okay with you. He's about to arrest you for tax evasion. But he does let him go. He's like, look, man, I may be part of the tax bureau, but I'm not a cockblock. Go meet this chick, man. Let me know how it goes. What? Don't worry, kind stranger, as we've grown quite fond of your nephew over these past, 12 seconds. So naturally, we decided to help you commit arson to escape the police. And off he goes, dude. They did that good. They must do this a lot. Also, I guess the tide must be out, because they told him to dive into the ocean, and once he leapt off the thing, he landed in the sand. That could have ended very badly if he didn't know that. So long, suckers! Oh, God, my legs! Oh, I'm going to prison! So they just time to skip town, right? Now that the police, animal welfare, tax enforcement, and this construction company are all after him. Nope, he just goes back to work like nothing happened. But not before someone else gets killed by a crocodile. Also, not before we talk about today's sponsor, Rocket Money. I signed up for Paramount Plus so I could watch old seasons of Survivor, but unfortunately, the experience of using Paramount Plus is so bad that I never use it. I don't know if it's just the app on my TV specifically, but episodes of that show used to be shot in a 4:3 aspect ratio, but Paramount Plus stretches it out to widescreen. Meanwhile, all of the ads, which are shot in widescreen, for some reason are squished down to 4:3. Also, pausing doesn't work. It actually took me like days to even sign up for Paramount Plus. I don't know why, I tried on every device and they just didn't want my money for some reason. That being said, I am very happy that Rocket Money is sponsoring today's video because it gives me a good excuse to complain about Paramount Plus. I stopped using it a while ago, but forgot to cancel the subscription, which is why Rocket Money comes in handy. Rocket Money safely and securely identifies recurring charges and lets you cancel those subscriptions with just a couple of clicks in the app. You don't need to worry about pesky customer service calls. You don't need to worry about Jeff Probst coming to your house to ask you why you're canceling your subscription. It just works. Rocket Money also has some great budgeting tools. You can monitor your spending by category, create budgets so you can get the most out of your money, and develop good saving habits. Rocket Money has helped save customers up to $740 a year when they use all the features, with over $500 million in canceled subscriptions. So to save more and spend less, join the over 5 million members using Rocket Money today. Go to rocketmoney.com/Danny or click the link in the description to get started with Rocket Money for free. And you can also unlock even more features with premium. That's rocketmoney.com/Danny to get started for free. Thank you to Rocket Money for sponsoring this video, and thank you to you guys for checking out Rocket Money. Now back to the video. After the whole escaping from the police incident, two of those teens from the bar decide to go make out in the ocean.
This is great.
They're smooching, they're making out. The boy goes underwater to... I actually don't know what he was planning on doing down there. It kind of looks like he's going to suck on her toes. But you know who that attracts? The croc! The croc said, hold on. If anybody's sucking on anybody's toes around here, you better believe it's gonna be the most sexually aggressive reptile. So he eats the boy, and then he eats the girl, all while this lone, terrified girl watches on in horror. I love how casually she rides away. She is in no rush. Ah, a killer croc! I gotta go get help! But I shouldn't go too fast. I gotta focus on me. I gotta take care of myself first. Yeah, no, good call. No need to give any credence to the girl who literally saw them get eaten by an alligator. Yeah, she was probably just making it up. She probably just wanted attention. She's like curled up in a corner, traumatized somewhere, and they're just like, stop lying! There's no such thing as alligators, you idiot! You killed them, didn't you? During this scene, there's a mysterious man just kind of lurking on the sidelines of the investigation. He's not part of the police. He's just there. And he's mysterious, but it seems like he might have a hunch. And then suddenly, the police pull a leg out of the water. We assumed so. You're a police officer, and you pulled up with like 15 other police officers. I know what it looks like, but no strip club tonight, Jack. Yeah, I know. People are dying. I'm here on official business. Unless... No, dude, we have to catch this crocodile before it kills again. Right. Yes, exactly. But what if it's at the strip club? Yo! So the girl that Theo was flirting with at the bar is having a funeral for her cousin. And since everyone thinks it was Jack's crocodile that ate the cousin, they are not very happy when he shows up. And he is very confused. I love this one because he is getting dragged away for so long. And they just watch him. Nobody does anything to help. They're just like, oh man... He's dead. Help! I'm not dead! There's still time! It's like I can still hear his voice. You sound scared. While Jack, Evelyn, and Croc are hunting the croc, the other two villains just die. They get eaten by the crocodile. Just the really dumb, slow ones. One thing that really surprised me about this movie is how overwhelmingly positive all of the comments on YouTube are. This movie is super boring, the acting is really bad, there are long periods of seemingly pointless plot development, and yet the YouTube comments seem to love it. But they are pretty much exclusively all about how pretty the scenery in Thailand is, and not about the movie or the plot at all. So I guess that makes sense. Great movie, well filmed, nice locations. Beautiful filming, never thought Thailand was so perfect to paradise. Thanks so much. Yeah, well, it's not that perfect if people keep getting eaten by alligators, is it? Great movie with beautiful scenery. Thanks. Do these people think that the director invented Thailand? Because he didn't. It's been around for a while and you can go there. So they find the croc and they kill it. It's honestly pretty unsatisfying. What I was expecting for them to like pull off the mask of the alligator and it was the tax investigator all along. But I was hoping for some kind of closure as to like why this happened outside of two fishermen woke him up with a bomb. The ending of this movie is very somber. They're all just kind of traumatized on their little boat until Jack's sister asks Croc if the crocodile ate his leg. I forgot to mention, Croc only has one leg. I don't know if you've noticed that. And so you just assume, oh, he must be hunting the croc because the croc ate his leg. And Croc says, good, good. I was hoping this movie would end like an episode of The Big Bang Theory. Well guys, thanks for watching this video. I hope you liked it. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe and turn on my notifications to join Greg. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.